when she didn't think I was home, or if she thought I couldn't hear, she would cry.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
From Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington, we're set for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. It's the middle game of a three-game interleague series, and we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. And back to baseball here in a second, but if you'd like a news and weather update, WGN's 9 o'clock news is online right now on WGNTV.com and on CLTV. And we'll also have a full report as usual after the game on Channel 9. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. 2-0 Seattle, the final last night on a 2-run homer early by Franklin Gutierrez. Bob, we're going to talk about all the little things, and the Cubs have, quite frankly, come up short in that department.
Well, unfortunately, Len, when your offense is not swinging the bats the way they're capable, they're not scoring runs, there's very little wiggle room, very little margin for error. In the ball game last night, another base running mistake by Alfonso Soriano with nobody out. A line drive to the left fielder turned into an easy double play at second base, and then a physical error on the part of Starlin Castro. That ball had a lot of English off the bat of a left-handed hitter and just made a misplay. Unfortunately, threw late to first base. That run did not end up scoring, but those are the little things you really have to tighten up when you're not scoring runs.
And do you think it also puts a lot of pressure on the starting pitchers?
No question about it. I mean, you know that if you give up a couple runs in a ball game, it's going to be tough to win, so those guys are feeling it as well.
The Mariners are doing all the little things. Man, the last 5 games, all wins. They have allowed 2 runs. Look at what their starting staff has done.
Well, and it doesn't get any better tonight. Cliff Lee, probably their best taking the ball tonight. It's been a real rough go for anybody's offense against this Mariners pitching staff lately.
All right, big ballpark. It was flying out of here during batting practice, but usually as the sun goes down, so do the power numbers. We'll talk about the starting pitchers when we come back. Randy Wells looking for his first win in a while. Cubs and Mariners coming up.
America has some amazing dives, and we're going to take off from the plane, check out a bunch of them. The places, the vibe, food. Join us, the crew of Skydives, as we fly into the heart of America to see and taste the country's most amazing food. Do you have a favorite food joint? Cool. Log in to WGNAmerica.com. Tell us about it.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. Superior drinkability. Ultimate refreshment. A splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does Charlie Daniels play a mean fiddle?
That's how you do it, son.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Free HD on dish in 5, 4. Unbelievable. You flipped the switch too soon. Free HD.
Anything Mayo can do, we can do Boulder. The choice is yours. Are you up for some sandwich kick and flavor? Are you Miracle Whip?
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. By Pepsi, every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. Welcome back to Safeco Field. A very important night for Ryan Dempster last night. He's been in the big leagues a long time, but this was his first really hometown game back here in the Seattle area. He's from nearby Gibsons, British Columbia, a town of about 6,000. I thought he pitched really well, Bob. Made one mistake, but had about 250 people rooting him on.
Well, he had to please his fans with the way he threw the ball last night. Only one mistake in the game. He left a sinker up to Franklin Gutierrez with a runner on base, and that was the margin of the ball game. But other than that one pitch, he was totally in command all night.
It was the Cubs' first complete game of the season. Now, it was only 8 innings because the Mariners didn't bat in the 9th. But the quote, as the Cubs move forward, sometimes the greatest opportunities disguised as the biggest obstacles. The Cubs right now 8 games under 500. Big obstacle tonight in Cliff Lee. But Randy Wells still looking for his first win in a while. A building block his last time out.
Much better his last time out against Oakland. He got out of the first inning, and that's a start. Randy's had a lot of problems in the first inning, but last time out he was very good, kept that sinker down, changed speeds well.
No guarantee the free agent Cliff Lee is going to be with the Mariners after the trade deadline, but man, oh man, has he been good.
22 strikeouts against 1 walk in his last 23 and a third innings on the season. 17 strikeouts per every walk.
Is that good?
That's really good.
Well, hopefully the Cubs can get to him tonight and end the Mariners' 5-game winning streak. When you come to Seattle, you got to go to Pike Place Market right on the water. We'll have Cubs baseball from Seattle next.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens.
I don't know about that one. Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
So rich.
Hola, amigo. It's me, your TV. Just pulled the plug on your cable to show you something sweet. With DirecTV, get a DVR that stores twice as many shows as cable. So load it up. Sports, soaps, absolutely. Reality show marathon, not my thing, but cool. Lots of movies, why not? You got the room. Stop limiting yourself. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV, it'll change your life.
No, not now. Come on, please.
Oh, great.
Nothing's worse than a dead battery. And nothing's more reliable than a Duralast battery. Engineered to start day in and day out, even under the most extreme conditions. Duralast, proven tough. Only at AutoZone.
Welcome back to Safeco Field. The last 2 days, probably the 2 nicest days of 2010 here in the Great Northwest. We'll certainly take it as the Cubs look to even up this series and have 1 game apiece and a gold medalist on hand.
Yeah, but before we get started tonight, let's check out our AT&T U-verse replay. You may not recognize him without his skates on, but the name on the back of the uniform says it all. Apollo Ono throwing out the first pitch here at Safeco Field tonight. Got a big round of applause from the fans in attendance. And it looked like he threw a strike. It was close enough.
He did.
Find out more of what's possible at AT&T.com. AT&T, rethink possible.
One of the great short track speed skaters in the world, Apollo Ono. The Mariners take the field behind former Cy Young Award winner Cliff Lee. And here's how Lou Piniella will line him up. The Pepsi lineup against the Mariners, brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Pretty similar to last night. In fact, it's exactly the same. The one change is Xavier Nady's going to play first with Derek Lee DHing. You see what Giovanni Soto has done lately, and the Cubs have had success against left-handed starters, even though they lost last night.
Take a quick look at the Mariners defensively. You got Michael Saunders in left, Franklin Gutierrez in center field, Ichiro Suzuki over in right, Lopez, Wilson, Figgins, and Kochman across the infield. Rob Johnson doing the catching tonight. The Mariners lead the American League with 10 pass balls as a team. Johnson has 7 of those. He'll be behind the plate tonight, catching pitches from left-hander Cliff Lee. Any number you look at on the line of Cliff Lee is impressive. A .222 opponent's batting average. He has 3 complete games already this season. 67 strikeouts against only 4 walks in just over 77 innings of work.
Now the umpire's a crew chief, Mike Riley. This is his 34th year in the major leagues. He's worked 4 World Series. Born in Iowa and lives in Michigan. And the Chrysler game forecast, 76 beautiful degrees. Wind not much of a factor. Humidity not a factor. It's brought to you by Chrysler. For more info on our vehicle lineup, log on to Chrysler.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Chrysler dealer today. Both teams ahead of the Cubs have already won. The Reds, after getting swept here in Seattle, went south and swept the A's 3-0 the final this afternoon. And Chris Carpenter beat his former team, the Blue Jays, 1-0 as the Cardinals got an RBI single for Matt Holliday in the ninth to win it 1-0. Marlon Byrd fouls off and we're underway.
Well, Lynn, normally we talk about the Cubs offense being patient against an opposing pitcher, trying to work some deep counts. I don't think that's a game plan that's going to work against Cliff Lee. He, as we've shown you, is a strike thrower. He'll work his fastball to all areas of the strike zone with great command. He's got a slider, a bounce in the dirt when he's trying to get a strike 3. Cut fastball. He'll run in on the hands of the right-handers and an occasional straight changeup.
Another foul off to the right. Just about any number you look at for Marlon Byrd looks impressive. On the road, at home, against lefties, you name it. Won't be easy, but I think he has a very good shot at his first career All-Star game as he dunks it into right for his 3rd hit already in the series. Cubs last night out hit the Mariners 6-5, but they could not come up with that big hit. Now the third baseman, Jeff Baker. Ramos Ramirez eligible to come off the DL today, but the Cubs are going to wait until Friday when they play the White Sox on the south side. He's working on his new grip with Rudy Jaramillo, trying to take some pressure off that bruised thumb. Cubs will have to make a roster move to accommodate his return. Not hit hard. Figgins able to just knock it down, but that's it. And Jeff Baker is aboard. It'll probably be a hit. Figgins had to go a long way to get it, and back-to-back singles to start the game.
Figgins a little rough around the edges defensively for the Mariners at second base. That ball hit him in the glove. He just couldn't make the play. Also, he has some issues with cutoff and relay throws from the outfield. Look for the Cubs to challenge if there happens to be a ball hit in the gap, and Figgins is the cutoff man handling the throw.
So Derek Lee against Cliff Lee with 2 on and nobody out. We say it all the time against really good starting pitchers. If you have them on the ropes in the first, you really need to take advantage. You don't want Cliff Lee to get out of this jam and then settle in, and before you know it, he's gone the distance. Swing and the miss on a changeup. 0-2. mentioned it off the top. The Mariners have allowed 2 runs total over their last 5 games. They've had 3 shutouts, including Cliff Lee's complete Game 6 hitter against the Reds in his last start. 1-2. Tapper foul. You can get a hold of us via email at LennonBob@Tribune.com. And you can follow us at Twitter.com/LennonBob as well. Cliff Lee, 31 years old, from Benton, Arkansas. 6'3", 190, a check swing roller, and they will get 1 at second, and that's it. So fielder's choice for Derek. As Baker is erased, first and third, 1 out, and here comes Xavier Nady.
A very subtle thing, Len, but the ability to get that lead runner at second base, keeping the double play in order here for the Mariners. Would have been very easy for Figgins just to take the easy out at first base, but he saw the runner Baker go past him. He realized he had enough time with a quick throw to get the lead runner, and unfortunately for the Cubs now, a ground ball could possibly get the Mariners out of the inning. Let me know if I call them the Marlins tonight.
Well, we're not used to seeing the Mariners. This is only the 8th game all time between these two clubs. Cubs have won 4 of the first 7, dating back to 2002. We've cut and a miss by Nady, who went 0 for 4 as the designated hitter last night, but he's got the glove tonight. He's at first. His average has gone up every month, and he has played more as the days and weeks have gone by. Inside. Probably a setup pitch for Lee. Won't be a lot of secrets tonight. There's Don Wakamatsu, the Mariner manager. Cubs have seen a lot of lefties, seen a lot of fastballs in, cutters in, and changeups away. Ground ball, they'll try to turn 2. 6, 4, 3. They get out of it. The first 2 got on. Nobody came around to score, and the Mariners are coming up.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Happy 25th birthday, Blizzard!
Check it out! Every party needs a clown, right?
I didn't have a clown at my birthday. Me neither.
Turning 9 does not compare with being the world's greatest treat for 25 years, okay?
Clowns are earned, kids.
We are.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard with Golden Oreo cookies and strawberries. Then follow the party tour at DQ.com. And this month, try our Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard cake.
You've been wearing that bracelet since junior high?
We need to talk to you about this dedicated claims rep thing.
Okay. Well,
calling yourselves dedicated? We're all dedicated, okay? The entire website team worked late every night this week. Look at Sanjeev. He's a mess.
What? Guys, no. We're called dedicated claims reps because we each stay with an Esurance customer throughout the automobile claims process.
Yeah.
It's not because we think we work harder than you.
Well, you don't.
Am I a mess?
You slept in the vending machine.
Call today or go to esurance.com.
Losing isn't all bad. Coach always takes us to Pizza Hut after a tough loss. All the pizzas we love are just $10 each. Winning is so overrated.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
You see that banner there? Lou Piniella was the manager here when they won 116 games in 01. Ichiro will lead it off. Look what he's done in interleague play. Sean Figgins, his first action of this series, late scratch last night because of an upset stomach. The former Cub Bradley. Lopez at third. Gutierrez the game winner the last 2 games for Seattle. That's Josh Wilson at short. Casey Kochman at first. Rob Johnson catching. Michael Saunders in left.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively tonight behind Randy Wells, brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Soriano, Bird, and Colvin across the outfield. Baker, Castro, Terrio, and Nady tonight across the infield. Giovanni Soto once again doing the catching for right-hander Randy Wells.
Been a while. April 30th, his last win. 9 starts since. 0-5 with a .589, but a lot better his last time out. Ichiro fouls off as Wells faces the Mariners for the first time. You were telling me about Ichiro during batting practice.
It was really amazing, Len. It was like, once again, our friend Bob Ross, it was like watching a painting appear before your eyes. That one will be tapped back to Randy Wells. He didn't do any of that in batting practice. His first couple rounds, he just hit the ball between the hole, between third and short, time after time after time. His second round, he hit the screen in front of the batting practice pitcher time after time. His third round, he pulled the ball through the right side of the infield over and over. And then just to show his versatility, his last round, he hit about 11 balls up into the stands in right field.
Now the switch hitting Sean Figgins, big free agent pickup in the offseason. Got a 4-year, $36 million contract to defect from the Angels to the Mariners. He was an all-star last year. He led the league with 101 walks. None of them intentional, interestingly enough. Just a .236 off to a very disappointing start. The Mariners scoring just enough runs here lately to have their longest winning streak of the season, 5, but they're still tied for 27th in the majors in runs, second to last in homers and OPS. A pop-up, Terrio backpedaling into the grass and makes the catch.
Hitter, number 15, Milton Renly.
Interesting reaction for a home player. Cub fans letting him hear about it. Some Mariner fans cheering him on.
They haven't seen enough of him yet.
Swing and a miss. 0 for 3 with a walk last night, and 0 for his last 15 overall.
Then I saw in one of the local papers today a bar and grill that has a Milton Bradley special. On Mondays, you can buy a bottle of domestic beer for whatever Milton Bradley's batting average is.
Did you buy one?
Well, a couple more bats like that, I'll be able to buy a case.
Introducing Bud Light Lime in cans. The great taste of Bud Light Lime now goes wherever you need it to. Only the superior taste of Bud Light Lime with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor puts you in the summer state of mind. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
There's complete. And then there's most complete, like what you get from Centrum Ultra Men's, the most complete multivitamin for men. It has antioxidants to help support your immunity and nutrients like vitamin D for your colon. Centrum Ultra Men's.
For a limited time, you can carry out a large Domino's inspired new pizza with any 2 delicious toppings of your choice. All for just $5.99.
It's such a great deal, we had to add one stipulation. Limit 256 per household per day.
Domino's $5.99 carry-out pizza deal. For a limited time, carry out a large 2-topping inspired new pizza for just $5.99. Only at Domino's.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me. Did it get cold?
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
Craftsman cordless multi-tool. The power and versatility of 6 tools packed into one. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Hey fans, on Wednesday, July 7th, PNC Bank presents the 3rd annual Road to Wrigley as the Peoria Chiefs take on the Kane County Cougars at Wrigley Field. Get ready for a day of fun with help from the famous chicken and enjoy $2 hot dogs and $3.50 Bud and Bud Lights in the bleachers. Order your tickets today at Cubs.com.
Fouled off by Giovanni Soto as we start the second. The Cubs had a golden opportunity in the first that went by the board. First and second, nobody out. And Cliff Lee eventually escaped. That's to right. Ichiro on the move. Oh, I think he caught it. He did. What a catch by Ichiro in the right field corner to take away extra bases. He's been a Gold Glover every year of his career, and that's one of the better ones you'll see. Look at this reach. Wow.
That is a long run from where he started to get that ball. He ran right through the wall, it appeared. He covers so much ground out there in right field. I love to watch him between batters. He's out there stretching his legs, stretching his arm. He never takes anything for granted. He's ready for every ball to be hit his direction.
Called strike on Alfonso Soriano. Ichiro's not afraid to climb that 8-foot wall and steal away some home run balls. I think that should be a standard wall height. You know, the occasional green monster, that's okay, but any new ballpark, 8 feet is perfect because it allows outfielders to go get balls that would be normally a home run as Soriano strikes out. I want to send out birthday wishes to Lois Wilkie watching tonight in Downers Grove. It's her 80th birthday, and watching the Cubs is part of the celebration, so happy birthday, Lois.
Also have a note here from Rich from the USS Abraham Lincoln. Wanted to say hello to his wife Tracy back in Jacksonville, Florida, watching the ball game tonight.
So a nice note. I apologize. Can't quite read the writing, but Margaret and John, I believe it's Toll, T-O-A-L, transplanted Chicagoans from Ventura, California, cheering on the Cubs here in Seattle tonight. And there's a note to you, Bob, at the bottom that says, yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry. Really works. 30 years.
Well, congratulations. So you learn the secrets.
Lee's 1-1 to Colvin. That's smacked out into deep right center. Way back and gone. A home run for Tyler Colvin. And the Cubs get their first run of the series. It's 1-0. Well, he smoked it out of here.
Well, a lot of left-handed hitters, Len, will tell you they like to face left-handed pitching from time to time because it forces you to have perfect mechanics in order to be successful. Boy, Colvin kept that front shoulder and front hip in there so well, really used his hands. It's one of the longest drives we've seen in this ballpark in a long time.
That snaps the Mariners' consecutive scoreless streak at 24 innings.
Just continues to impress. Does something just about every day to make you like him in that lineup.
That's his 9th of the year. Castro swings and misses at a changeup to end the inning. Colvin with a 2-out blast. Cubs 1, Mariners nothing early.
Who's serving up a big breakfast this weekend?
On an endless buffet, a juicy steak.
Don't flip out.
Only Golden Corral would include steak for breakfast. It's on our endless weekend breakfast buffet, all for a great low price. Only at Golden Corral.
I just thought I'd try it out. I went on Ancestry.com, started playing around with my family tree. And this little leaf appears by my grandmother's name. When I clicked on it, I found trees built by other members that traced my family all the way back to before the Civil War.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
So you don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
When you're trying to lose weight, the more options you have, the more likely you are to stay on track. That's why there are 9 delicious kinds of Special K cereal. Because every girl could use a little variety. Special K, now in 9 delicious flavors.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology, only from Wagner. The finish you want, the value you're looking for.
White Sox Braves, Thursday, 2 East, 11 West on WGN America. Tyler Colvin among the Major League rookie leaders in home runs. Just hit his 9th to give the Cubs their first lead of the series, their first run of the series, in fact. 1-0 on Jose Lopez, the Mariners' third baseman.
Colvin with his 9th home run of the season came on his 118th at-bat of the year. He now trails only Alfonso Soriano and Derek Lee for the team lead. Lee with 252 at-bats to get his 10.
Roland Bird tracking and catching.
And Soriano with 215 to get his 10.
Now Franklin Gutierrez, who had the only home run last night, a game winner in the 2nd, a 2-run shot off Ryan Dempster, and in the Mariners' previous game he knocked in the Mariners and the only run of that game as they beat the Reds 1-0. So without him, they would have been shut out in back-to-back contests. As it ended up being, they went 2-0. Strike. Career high 129 pitches for Randy in his last start, but he gets an extra day with the off day Monday. 7 innings, 2 runs, and a no decision. The Cubs would win it 3-2. Colvin catches for the 2nd out.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot, wait for it, $12 million.
That's worth waiting for.
Just mess up your taxes, that's all.
Josh Wilson, the shortstop, he started at 2nd. Last night, Jack Wilson got his first start since coming off the DL. But there's a little competition there at short between the Wilsons. Just kind of go with a hot hand. One ball, 2 strikes. Dirt. Gio asks for a new ball. Extra base hit. You see, Gio wanted a changeup. Wells shook him off. He said slider, said no. Fastball away, no. Then fastball in. That's what Wells wanted to throw. And Wilson hit it hard back up the middle. Now first baseman Casey Kochman comes in at 187. Known more for his defense. He has a major league record for consecutive errorless games as a first baseman, 240 and counting. That's outside. Bob, our good friend Rick Riz, longtime Mariners broadcaster and a Chicago native, wanted to say hi to Don and Patty Riz in Palos Heights. And we assume Don and Patty are rooting for the Cubs tonight, even if Rick is not.
Well, we didn't give you a shot of it earlier in the ball game, but Rick Riz, a bad error on a foul ball that came into their booth there. He picked it up off the ground quickly, made a nice recovery, but I saw the initial drop, Rick.
That's high, 2-1.
Yeah, Len, you were talking about Randy Wells shaking off Giovanni Soto to get to the pitch he wanted, and there's no question every starting pitcher has a very definitive game plan against every hitter in that opposing lineup, but sometimes I think we can overthink this. Giovanni Soto was behind the plate last night. He knows what these Mariners hitters were offering at, what they were laying off of, what you can fool them with. I think sometimes you stick with your game plan, but when there's a discrepancy, I would tend to go with the catcher. He's the guy that's been sitting behind the plate seeing what the opposing team has been swinging at.
You're shocked you'd go with the catcher.
Yeah, hard to believe, isn't it? Well, nothing gets me more than when you bring in a relief pitcher from the bullpen. He's been sitting down there eating sunflower seeds for 7 innings, hasn't been paying any attention to the game whatsoever, and shakes off the catcher on the first pitch. Come on now.
Runner goes on the 2-2, and that one was scalded into the Cubs dugout. Fortunately, everybody all right. See if Josh Wilson runs again. You would assume that would be the case.
Pickoff attempt this time.
He was leaning. They got him. Randy Wells picks off Josh Wilson to end the second. 1-0 Cubs.
Where the blazes is Jefferson? TJ? He's probably still writing that declaration. There he is. Gentlemen, here we go. Would you like to be the second lady?
Who loves the Benjamin?
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
We should do this every 4th of July.
It can happen anytime, when you least expect it. A regular moment can become romantic. And when it does, men with erectile dysfunction can be more confident in their ability to be ready with Cialis. With 2 clinically proven dosing options, you can choose the moment that's right for you and your partner. 36-hour Cialis and Cialis for daily use. Cialis for daily use is a low-dose tablet you take every day, so you can be ready anytime the moment's right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity.
Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure.
Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor if Cialis is right for you. You can be ready for your moment with Cialis.
Think yours is the most beautiful baby? Prove it, and you could win $5,000 in the Beautiful Babies Contest. It's free and open to babies 3 to 48 months at WGNAmerica.com.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the Thirst Inning. Let's check out the crowd through the Thirst Inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game.
There's so much in this world to make me believe. Stay with me, all I see.
Let's Just Breathe by Pearl Jam. Budweiser, it's what we do. Pearl Jam, one of just a bunch of grunge bands from the Pacific Northwest that owe their success to Mother Love Bone, the original grunge band from here in Seattle.
All made famous in one of my favorites, Singles, back in the early 90s. The 0-2 to Ryan Theriot is dumped foul into the seats behind the Mariner dugout. 1-0 Cubs on a home run by Tyler Colvin. Now they've got a big Kurt Cobain exhibit at the Seattle Art Museum in downtown Seattle throughout this summer. Gutierrez makes a catch, one away. Cub fans, don't forget to check out our WGN Baseball blog on WGNTV.com. I have some photos I shot around town here in Seattle. There's a link to our current podcast, game notes from stats, and much more. Once again, WGNTV.com. The Chicago baseball stories for a story about the original heel click by Cubs legend Ron Santo back in 1969. Bird pops into short right where Ichiro is standing by.
Wow, look at that vertical.
It was 41 years ago yesterday for Ron. And don't forget, the Cubs are going to recognize Ron Santo for his 50 years of service to Major League Baseball. His Cubs debut 50 years ago coming up in a couple of days, and he will be honored in a special pregame ceremony prior to the game Monday against the Pirates. He will throw out the first pitch. He'll conduct the 7th inning stretch on July 1st, and a limited number of $10 bleacher seats will be available throughout the next homestand. For more information, go to Cubs.com. And you can purchase those tickets by entering the promo code SANTO when you purchase bleacher tickets on Cubs.com. June 26, 1960, the date of Ron's big league debut. And filling in for him during this series, former Cub lefty, still a lefty, Dave Otto. 1-2 to Jeff Baker. I like how Mike Riley leans into the pitch.
Yeah, he kind of goes to the corner where the pitch is to give himself one last quick peek as it approaches the front of home plate.
Busy week here for Lou, meeting up with a lot of old friends here in Seattle, where he led the Mariners to 4 different playoff appearances.
Now you can tell Lou has a lot of friends here in Seattle because he is shaved first 2 days of this road trip. Normally when the Cubs leave Chicago, Lou lets the facial hair go a little bit, but catching up with old buddies here in town, wants to look his best.
Baker bounces foul.
much of an opportunity you had to get out and about on the streets today, but man, oh man, are there a bunch of Cub fans in town. A lot. Every restaurant, every street side cafe, every coffee shop. I mean, coffee shops alone would put about 100,000 people in town. Everywhere we went, Cubs jerseys, Cubs hats.
Great road city to travel to root on the Cubs. Baker able to hold. It's 3-2. Eric Lee on deck. Pitch. High fly ball out to Ichiro. Routine for him. And the Cubs go down 1-2-3. 3 fly ball outs for Lee. That's Elliott Bay. 1-0 Cubs.
There's so much in this world to make me believe.
We've been bought by Sunflash. They're sharks. Man, they're young.
They're in the lobby.
Just for Men targets only the gray in 5 easy minutes.
Sunflash.
Nice.
Just for Men. Live forward.
We have a pretty big family, and Olive Garden's one of the few places we can take them where everyone's happy.
Try our new Crest Belly dishes. Italian crepes stuffed with 5 cheeses with chicken and garlic cream sauce or with grilled Italian sausage, starting at just $10.95 at Olive Garden.
Juicy Johnsonville sausage, made with only premium cuts of pork since 1945. Johnsonville, sausage is all we do.
Over 1,000 people a day are switching to Chevy. They like that vehicles like the 2010 Malibu, Traverse, and Silverado Half-Ton have each been named to Consumers Digest Best Buy. They like that Chevy backs the quality with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. They're not just trading in, they're trading up. Qualified lessees now get a low-mileage lease on this Malibu LS for around $199 a month. Call for details. The switch to Chevy starts at ChevyDealer.com.
Diesarita, please. Diesarita. 1 part Di Serono, 1 part tequila, 2 parts margarita mix. Di Serono. Keep it open.
Casey Kochman was at the plate when Josh Wilson got picked off to end the second. So Kochman leading off the bottom of the third. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Len, you've heard me talk before about a breather inning for a pitcher, and if there ever was a breather inning, this would be it for Randy Wells. The 3 scheduled hitters for the Mariners have really struggled offensively this year. Kochman, Johnson, and Saunders, according to the scouting report, all have what they call slider speed bat. They have trouble catching up to a good fastball.
Wells has fallen behind 3-1. Kochman's seen a lot of pitches from Randy. And there's ball 4.
Hey kids, have you ever dreamt of running the bases at Wrigley Field? Well, now you can on Wednesday afternoon games during June, July, and August. The first 1,000 kids entering the stadium will be given the opportunity to run the bases after the conclusion of the game. Tickets are limited, so visit Cubs.com to order today.
Here is Rob Johnson. We saw Eliezer Alfonso behind the plate last night. It's inside, ball 1. Randy Wells trying to relocate that strike zone. Kind of odd timing, but the Florida Marlins fired their manager, Freddie Gonzalez. Marlins were 2 games under 500 going into action tonight in Baltimore. Edwin Rodriguez, who was managing their AAA club in New Orleans, taking over on an interim basis. And Florida won tonight. In fact, they won Freddie's last game as a manager. 7-5 the final in Baltimore. I will say this. I'm a big fan of Freddie Gonzalez. I don't think he'll be out of work long. And he probably, Bob, becomes immediately the top candidate to replace Bobby Cox after he retires. He's a former third base coach for Bobby. So we'll see. That's a big pitch. 2-2 instead of 3-1. Got the low strike from Mike Riley. Carlos Tosca, the bench coach. Jim Presley, the hitting coach, also fired and replaced by Brandon Hyde on the bench. John Maley, the hitting coach. They were both in the Marlins minor league system. Slider missing. 3-2.
Yeah, for any
speculation, Bobby Valentine could be back in uniform at some point soon.
Now, supposedly Valentine withdrew his name from the Orioles manager's job, so we'll see what happens. Boy, if Randy Wells can execute a pitch here, get a strikeout at home plate, they don't even start the run. I thought they might get Kochman on the move, and it's probably a good thing for the Mariners. They did not, because Johnson takes a call, third strike right on the outside corner from Randy Wells. Good pitch. Like a little slider, maybe a cut fastball on that outside corner. I don't know if you've noticed, but Kochman might take the shortest lead off in baseball. And this is with a right-handed pitcher on the mound. You can understand it against a lefty that has a tough move and maybe hangs at the very top of his delivery and freezes that runner at first base. But Kochman's only hitting about 4 feet off the bag down there.
Fastball in there against Saunders. 0 for 3 in the opener.
When a guy takes a lead that short, it makes you wonder if you shouldn't move your first baseman around behind the runner. Give yourself a little more range on that right side of the field with a left-handed hitter at the plate.
I think that's a great point. Castro at short. So 2 outs. It brings up Ichiro. Grounded out to the pitcher in the bottom of the first. Lots of other news around baseball, including Mark DeRosa done for the year. He's going to have surgery on his left wrist. There's been a major problem. This is not the first time he's had an operation on that wrist. So that creates a void for the Giants. He played in just 26 games for them. And the Pirates have hired back the pierogi that was fired for criticizing the team recently. 24-year-old Andrew Kurtz makes about $25 per game to wear a pierogi costume and race some of his friends.
A pierogi reprieve.
Yes. Long ball to Baker, and he picks it up. He's not going to be able to throw Ichiro out. Had a tough time at third base here lately with multiple errors. And that keeps it alive for Sean Figgins. And again, we talked about it right off the top. A 1-run game here early. These things can become huge.
Well, from my horrible experience as a third baseman at the major league level, I can tell you that's one of the toughest plays you'll have as a third baseman when a left-handed hitter hits the ball hard your direction. And there's no question Ichiro hit that ball hard. It's kind of handcuffed Jeff Baker. Unfortunately, it dropped behind him rather than in front of him, and no chance to get the speedy Ichiro at first.
Well, it's an understatement to say this is potentially the biggest batter of the game. When it's all said and done, we might come back to this Sean Figgins at bat for Randy Wells. Looked to be out of the third inning with no damage done. And as it is, it's 2-0 on their number 2 hitter. The Mariners with a runner in scoring position for the first time.
Figgins is the kind of hitter that's going to make you throw a strike. He's walked 40 times already this season. A very patient hitter, real good eye for the strike zone. In this particular situation with the runner in scoring position in a one-run game, he might be a little more aggressive. Normally he would take this 2-0 pitch. Borderline low sinker that time from Randy Wells.
Cubs have given up a major league high 44 unearned runs to this point. Bird going back on it. And Randy will not give up an unearned run this inning. He doesn't give up anything. 1-0 Cubs after 3.
Well, guys, that asteroid is going to destroy the Earth.
There's only one thing left to do.
And here we go.
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
We're saved.
I got into one of the best schools in the country. I got into one of the most expensive schools in the country.
When stress gives you heartburn with headache, Alka-Seltzer gives you relief fast. Plop, plop. Fizz, fizz.
No, not now. Come on, please.
Oh, great.
Nothing's worse than a dead battery. And nothing's more reliable than a Duralast battery. Engineered to start day in and day out, even under the most extreme conditions. Duralast. Proven tough. Only at AutoZone.
The Craftsman Hammerhead, the only auto hammer worthy of the Craftsman name. Engineered to drive home nails with the touch of a button. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Time now to check out today's improvement from Menards. Look at Cliff Lee's career numbers between 02 and 07. He was really good, but he has been off the charts good the last 3 seasons. 41 and 19 with an ERA just over 2.5. For all your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards.
Underway in the 4th. Cubs leading on the Tyler Colvin second inning homer. This is the 11th start of the year for Lee. 1-1 to Derek. In his first 10 starts, Cliff Lee has gone at least 7 innings 9 times. Lofted out into left center, and it's going to get down. Saunders will play it on the bounce. A leadoff single for D. Lee. First career hit for him in this ballpark. His first career game was last night.
A soft liner out toward the gap in left center. Looked like D. Lee hit it right off the end of the bat, but strong enough to get it out there for a clean base hit into left center.
Nady hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first, and takes a fastball up and in. Cliff Lee missed almost all of April with a right lower abdominal strain. And he had a 5-game suspension for a spring training incident rescinded by MLB in April. He claimed that injury, off-season foot surgery, and abdominal issues were to blame for the pitch that got away and went over Chris Snyder's head against Arizona. And in the words of Woody Allen, they bought it.
Yeah, that came later in the ball game after Cliff Lee and Chris Snyder came together behind home plate and just happened to slip Chris Snyder's next at bat and threw one over his head.
3-1. Well, he is in danger of walking Xavier Nady. He has set a Mariners club record already with 31 consecutive innings without a walk. Double play ball. This time it's 4-6-3. So 2 at-bats for Nady. He's made 4 outs.
Well, that's what pitchers with good command can do to you. They can almost will you to hit the ball where they want you to hit the ball. That time a fastball up and out over the plate. Nady hit it well, but right at the second baseman, Sean Fagans, who turns it into an easy 4-6-3 double play.
To Soto, robbed of a hit by great play from Ichiro in second. Day game tomorrow, and then back home. At least the Cubs will sleep in their own beds as they'll play the White Sox on the south side. So it's actually a road trip continuing. The Cubs get 3 extra days in their own bed every year when they play the White Sox. Don't have that luxury. They're going to fly a lot this year, as they do every season. Cliff Lee gives up the leadoff hit to Derek Lee, but doesn't give up anything.
A bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens.
I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
So word's getting out that Geico can help people save in even more ways. On motorcycle insurance, RV, camper, boat insurance. Nice work, everyone.
Well, it's easy for him. He's a cute little lizard. Gecko, actually. With all due respect, if I was tiny and green and had a British accent, I'd have more folks paying attention to me, too. I mean, save money. Pip cheerio.
British? I thought you were Australian.
Well, it's funny you should ask, because actually, I'm from...
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Ooh.
You have heel pressure.
Huh. You have high arches. Really?
People everywhere are discovering what's really going on with their feet. You have flat feet.
I do?
Foot care scientists are behind Dr. Scholl's Custom Fit Orthotic Center.
As flat as Kansas, sir.
That's flat.
Whoa.
Its unique foot mapping technology identifies the areas you put the most pressure on, then recommends the custom fit orthotic that's best for your feet for customized comfort all day long. For locations, see drscholls.com.
The 2010 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime.
A beautiful evening in Seattle, and the Cubs lead the Mariners 1-0 after dropping the opener 2-zip. Bradley, Lopez, and Gutierrez against Randy Wells. Inside, ball one. The guy Bradley was traded for, Carlos Silva, was originally scheduled to start tomorrow, but due to his tweaked hamstring, he has been pushed back to Saturday against the White Sox. So Ted Lilly will not face the White Sox again. Remember, he took a no-hitter into the 9th in Game 3 of that series at Wrigley. Ted will pitch tomorrow, and Silva will go Saturday with Carlos Zambrano Friday. To the switch hitting DH Milton Bradley. That was a changeup. It got away from Wells a bit. 2-2. Close. Ball 3. Change right down the middle.
Good strike 3 pitch that time by Randy Wells. Little fading changeup that started off the inside corner, worked its way back to the corner for strike 3 on Milton Bradley. Hey, one thing though, watching Giovanni Soto and Randy Wells working here tonight, they're not on the same page at all. Randy's shaking off almost every pitch that Giovanni Soto is hanging down there. Yeah, sometimes a starting pitcher goes out there and has a better feel for one pitch than the other, feels like he can command one pitch better than another, and will alter his game plan after the game starts.
1-1 on Lopez. Wells working quickly. That's low.
And that's the reason I point out they're not on the same page. Randy Wells likes to get the ball back, get right back on that rubber, and deliver the next pitch. And when there's a delay getting to the pitch you want to throw, it's going to throw him off of his rhythm.
Rolled back up the middle for the second hit. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
He's awkward, neurotic, and completely hysterical. Larry David, the creator of Seinfeld, stars in Curb Your Enthusiasm this fall on WGN America.
Franklin Gutierrez 0 for 1.
What was that music they were just playing? That was Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, done by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, I believe.
Yeah.
Kind of an odd rendition.
A little bit of a twist. Slider for a strike on Gutierrez. Steven Strasburg lost today. He was very good. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, no walks, but he did give up 9 hits, including 2 to Jose Guillen, who knocked in the only run. Jose Guillen with the longest hitting streak in the majors this season, now 18 games. And Kansas City beat him 1-0. Upstairs, bunch of shutouts today. Mentioned Cincinnati over Oakland 3-0. Johnny Cueto improved to 7-2. Cardinals 1-0 at Toronto. The Mets at home shut out Detroit 5-0. R.A. Dickey is now 6-0. He went 8 innings. Beat Jeremy Bonderman. Phillies won in walk-off fashion. Jimmy Rollins, a game-winning 2-run homer off Kerry Wood. Bottom of the ninth, 7-6 Phillies. 3-1 to Gutierrez with Josh Wilson on deck. Here's the pitch. Ground ball toward the hole, and Castro's got to eat it. In great range to get to the ball, but did not have a play. Gutierrez with a hit. Back-to-back singles with 1 out.
Both middle infielders cheating up toward the bag at second just a little bit in anticipation of a possible double play. Castro had a long way to go to get to that ball. Once he left his feet, he had no play.
Now the well-traveled Josh Wilson. This is his 6th major league team. Kind of a sad story. Josh's dad, Mike, was a longtime head baseball coach at Duquesne, which is in Pittsburgh. That's where Josh is from. The baseball program at Duquesne was cut after this 2010 season was completed. High chopper. Foul. No fair. It's 2 calls made there by the third base umpire, Bill Miller. He pointed foul and then pointed fair. And Lou's going to come out as everybody's safe, bases loaded. So I think he's claiming that the ball actually hit the corner of the base, which would in fact make it fair, but he originally pointed foul. I think the key question is, Bob, was there a verbal call there that the Cubs can claim maybe messed up Jeff Baker? Because he can't see him calling it foul.
Yeah, the third base umpire is standing behind where Jeff Baker was when he fielded that ball. I don't understand why you would point foul at all if the ball did indeed hit the base. Yeah, you see, he pointed foul initially, and then,
you know what I think he did?
Fair upon further review.
I don't think he tried to call it foul. I think he just messed it up. I think he just put out the wrong arm, which does happen on occasion.
It did appear the ball may have clipped that very front corner of the bag near foul territory. I think ultimately they did get the call right, but kind of an unusual sight there to have it called foul initially and then fair on further review. Really threw dirt on the base. I'm not so sure the ball actually hit the base.
Well, that is really close. And it also could have gone over the corner and been fair. It doesn't have to hit the bag. It has to go over a corner of the bag. So back-to-back infield hits, 3 straight for the Mariners. They have the bases loaded for Casey Kochman, who takes a strike. Put it on that play, Bob, you can argue the call whether it was fair or foul, but I'm going to give Bill Miller the benefit of the doubt for messing up whether he pointed foul or fair. I don't think that made any difference in terms of how the play ended up.
Yeah, there was just no play to be made. That ball was chopped high in the air, and as you said, whether it hit the bag or not, whether it went over the bag or not.
That's foul.
And Jeff Baker wasn't going to have a play anywhere anyhow.
Yeah, once the ball hits the dirt, if it hits the dirt and, before it gets to the bag, it's got to bounce over the bag. Now that one has to actually land fair. because it was in the air when it went past first base. The only way it becomes fair in that sort of situation is maybe Xavier Nady reached his glove out and touched it while it was still in fair territory. And he just punches it the other way. They're going to get one. And Lee Tinsley is going to hold up Gutierrez. They tie the game on a single by Kochman. That's 4 consecutive singles, and it's going to bring Larry Rothschild out of the dugout. A 1-1 tie. Casey Kochman's had a tough year, but I think that's the kind of approach Lou Piniella would like to see from some of his hitters in this spot.
Absolutely. With runners in scoring position, you just want to put the ball in play somewhere, preferably hit it hard and preferably find a hole somewhere. But I think there have been way too many instances this year where the Cubs offensively have tried to hit a 3-run homer or a grand slam home run instead of just taking the base hit to the opposite field and keep the line moving. Keep the pressure on the defense.
And they're still loaded. Here's Rob Johnson. Andy Wells needs a ground ball at one of his infielders.
Cubs are playing at double play depth all the way around the infield. I agree with it at third, short, and second, but I think with Xavier Nady's throwing arm not being 100%, I would bring the first baseman in even with the baseline. Try to get that force play at home plate if Johnson happens to cue one to the right side.
Johnson could not hold up. Actually might have been a called strike. He was asking Mike Riley, was it on the pitch? Doesn't really matter. It's 0-2. Quite an offseason for Rob Johnson. 3 offseason operations. One on his right hip in October, one on his left hip in November, and then he had left wrist surgery 2 weeks after his second hip operation. Good block by Soto. I have a feeling Rob Johnson on Thanksgiving did nothing. Just sat around and ate all day.
It's tough enough to have one off-season surgery and try to rehab and recover and get yourself back into baseball playing shape. It must have been a real rough off-season for Rob Johnson, which may explain some of the pass balls I talked about earlier in the ball game. I would have to believe that his mobility is probably not what it once was behind the plate.
He leads the majors in pass balls with 7. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's a big one for Wells. Still not out of the woods yet, but 2 down.
Left fielder, number 55, Michael Saunders.
Good change up. Good downward movement as that ball got into the hitting area. It's either going to be a swing and a miss or a ground ball. With that kind of downward movement and that much off speed, that time a swing and a miss.
Saunders, 11th round pick of the Mariners in 2004. As close to home as you can in the big leagues when you're from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Mariners 4 hits to tie the game. 4 consecutive singles. 2-0. And he needs a strike, and he needs it to be a quality strike with Saunders in a hitter's count. And it's 3-0. Now he's just got a groove on it. Just walked in a run, and it's 2-1 Seattle. Boy, that hurts. There's a lot to not like about that. The number 9 hitter, 2 outs in the inning, bases loaded, and a tie game.
And Ichiro on deck.
Yeah, and Ichiro coming up. Yikes. You know, that makes sense, those numbers being like that, because as you talked about last night, you know, Ichiro doesn't strike out a lot. He doesn't walk a whole lot. Well, the bases loaded, guys have to throw strikes, and he's going to make contact. Well, obviously has seen a lot of very hittable pitches in this spot. 1-1.
And Ichiro with that hitting style that you just wouldn't teach a young hitter. That's something that he's worked on for years and years and years and continues to work on a daily basis, even to this day. Gets that right foot up off the ground, tries to balance all his weight on his back leg as he very slowly starts to glide forward.
Base hit. They're going to get a couple. Wilson in, Kochman in. 4-1 Seattle. That's what he was doing during batting practice.
Yes, indeed. There's an old saying, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. You walk the number 9 hitter that's barely hitting over 200 to bring one of the best hitters in his generation up to the plate with the bases loaded, and this is what's going to happen more often than not.
Figgins bounces, and Terry will go right to the bag. And that ends the inning, but a damaging one to say the least. They get 4 runs and now lead by 3.
Happy 25th birthday, Blizzard!
Check it out! Every party needs a clown, right?
I didn't have a clown at my birthday. Me neither.
Turning 9 does not compare with being the world's greatest treat for 25 years, okay?
Clowns are earned, kids.
We are. Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard with Golden Oreo cookies and strawberries. Then follow the party tour at DQ.com. And this month, try our Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard cake.
So rich.
Hola, amigo. It's me, your TV. Just pulled the plug on your cable to show you something sweet. With DirecTV, get a DVR that stores twice as many shows as cable. So load it up. Sports, soaps, absolutely. Reality show marathon, not my thing, but cool. Lots of movies, why not? You got the room. Stop limiting yourself. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV, it'll change your life.
Everyone, I just saved a customer tons of money on his car insurance. So from now on, I'd like to be known as the Saver.
You know, the insurance site gives out discounts every day. Should we call the website the Saver?
Website already has the nickname, people.
Which is?
Fred.
So you're the Saver. While the website, which gives out thousands of discounts every day, is called Fred.
Hey, Saver.
Yeah, that just happened.
Call today or go to esurance.com.
Think yours is the most beautiful baby? Prove it, and you could win $5,000 in the Beautiful Babies contest. It's free and open to babies 3 to 48 months at WGNAmerica.com.
Now time for the fifth inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how'd you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules. Cliffy jumps ahead 0-1 to Alfonso Soriano. Leading off the top half of the fifth inning, the Mariners pushed across 4 in the bottom half of the fourth on 5 base hits and a bases loaded walk to the number 9 hitter. And then Ichiro with a 2-run base hit up the middle of the field.
Called strike 3. Let's check out who's moving forward with Toyota. Tyler Colvin essentially has become an everyday player. He's now hit 4 home runs in the month of June. Toyota and your local Toyota dealers, official partner of the Chicago Cubs. Long home run out of the right center in the second. Well, I tell you, that bottom of the fourth was excruciating to watch. You never like giving up 4 runs, but the way the Mariners did it, and as Kochman takes it unassisted, they just kind of nitpicked him to death, didn't they? And then the bases loaded walk, that was the Cardinal sin.
Yeah, of the 5 base hits in the inning, 2 were of the infield variety, including the one that either did or didn't hit the corner of the bag down there at third base. And then that walk to the 9 hitter. That's the one that like pulling nose hairs. That one really hurt.
On Castro as Lee looks for a shutdown inning after his team gave him the lead. Kind of hard to believe the Mariners are 12 games under 500. They're looking for just their 30th win of the year.
Now, that being said, they've been much better here at Safeco Field. 2 games over 500 at home going into play tonight. They've really struggled on the road. 14 under.
And they can't win within their own division. That's been their biggest problem. Ball strike 3. Castro gone. So are the Cubs in the 5th. 4-1 Mariners.
So Doc, I've been thinking, you know how. No. So, Doc, I've got this friend.
Talking to your doctor about erectile dysfunction isn't easy.
Actually, Doc, there is something I want to talk to you about.
But it's definitely a conversation worth having. 20 million men have had their Viagra talk. When you're ready for yours, visit Viagra.com for helpful conversation starters and to learn how Viagra can help. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. It's time to take a deep breath and ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Right now, when you stay 2 times, with Comfort Suites or any Choice Hotel, you can feed a family of 4. Book now at choicehotels.com to start earning your $50 restaurant gift card. When business travel leaves you drained, recharge with free high-speed internet and free hot breakfast. Comfort Suites. Power up.
When we get back, we're going to have a hero's welcome. Can we ride around town and on donkeys? What? Donkeys? Yeah, I heard you. That's just so strange, I guess.
Seattle. They bat on the bottom of the 5th. Inside to Milton Bradley. Cubs pitching has handled him well in this series. He's only reached once. That was on a walk last night against Brian Dempster. Cubs have not had to use their bullpen in this series. The pitching has not been a big problem, at least up until the fourth tonight. And we'll see if Randy can get back to the form he showed in the first 3 innings when he was pretty sharp. Lined to left, and a catch by Soriano. Picked it almost right off the turf to get Bradley.
Well, we've seen Marlon Byrd make similar plays out in center field. We rarely see Alfonso Soriano make that diving catch coming straight in, but he had to. This ball was sinking quickly. Got the glove underneath, sprawls out on the grass out there in shallow left field. That's a nice catch.
Lopez started that 4th inning rally with a 1-out single. And he's going to fly to Colvin. 2 quick outs.
Ashley Falami from Willowbrook is tonight's Hit the Jackpot with Powerball contestant. If the Cubs hit a home run in the next inning, Ashley Falami will win 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot. And tonight's jackpot is worth $97 million.
Gutierrez 1 for 2 with a run. Trailed inside. Well, Texas won again. The Rangers have won 10 in a row, 13-3. They trounced the Pirates. Michael Young with his 10th homer. 17 hits for the Rangers in that one. Maybe the best interleague matchup right now was only watched by 15,809 tonight. San Diego beat Tampa Bay 5-4. A couple of teams with excellent records as Castro can't quite get it. Gutierrez with a hit. Padres won their 3rd in a row tonight. Bell got his 19th save. Actually, maybe the best game or sets of the day had to be at Wimbledon. 2 guys not many people have heard of were tied in games in the 5th set at 59-59. It will go into its 3rd day tomorrow. Unbelievable. Inside on Josh Wilson. A lot of soccer fans here in Seattle got up very early to watch the U.S. pull out a late win.
I know the guy next to me at the hotel did.
Did you hear him cheer when the U.S. scored the game-winning goal? They've won their group. That was your wake-up call, huh?
Yeah, he was hooping and hollering next door. I wasn't sure what was going on. I knew the soccer game was on early, and it didn't take long for me to deduce what had happened. Colombo that way.
Wilson pops it up. Baker will make the catch, and the inning is over. We'll head off to the 6th. 4-1 Seattle.
Being a detective teaches you a lot about the dark side of human nature.
You shot here! I couldn't stop it! You punished her!
And the darkest truth of all, you can never underestimate what some guys will do for love.
Welcome to my new abode. This is awesome. Wow.
Who knew you were so environmentally responsible?
Yeah. Enviro what?
Your house made of empty Bud Light cans.
Oh, they're not empty.
Oh, here we go. Yeah! There's Bud Light in the fridge made of Bud Light.
It's the sure sign of a good time. Just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Look, a window. Sorry, honey.
Losing isn't all bad.
Coach always takes us to Pizza Hut after a tough loss. All the pizzas we love are just $10 each.
Winning is so overrated.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
Oh, no! I just parked here a second ago! Give me a break, will you? No.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
On second thought, I think I'll walk.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Who are you?
I'm your genie. Weren't you just wishing for something more nutritious to eat?
I was.
Well, you can enjoy the taste of decadent dark chocolate, the crunch of almonds, plus 35% of your daily fiber, plus antioxidants in a Kellogg's Fiber Plus bar. Right then, 2 more wishes.
I'm good.
Back to the lamp then.
See ya.
Kellogg's Fiber Plus bars. You couldn't wish for more.
Welcome back to a beautiful Safeco Field. Ryan Theriot smoked that one and just missed Cliff Lee. Leadoff single to start the 6th. Ivan DeJesus chatting with Theriot.
Well, good to see the Riot get on top of a pitch. He's been hitting a lot of lazy fly balls, a lot of tappers back to the middle of the infield. That time he squared it up and whistled it right past Cliff Lee into center field.
Well, the Mariners are creating an intriguing situation for their general manager, Jack Zaremczyk. As I said, they're 12 under 500. Texas keeps winning, so even if the Mariners hold on tonight, they're still 13 out in their own division. But you'd have to think some contenders are going to be lining up for Cliff Lee.
I know there's a number of advanced scouts in the stands here tonight. I've talked to a couple of them before the ball game, and they're here for one reason, to get a good look at Cliff Lee.
They get none. Figgins couldn't handle the throw from Lopez. Everybody safe. Fielder's choice for Bird. And an error on the throw, so Lopez charged with his 8th.
And it was a throw on a short hop to Figgins. Most second basemen would make like a first baseman on that play. When they see the throw is going to be bad, they concede that they're not going to turn the double play. Make sure to get the force at second. That time Figgins tried to pick it clean.
And we talked last night, Bob. Last year when Figgins was with the Angels, he played 3rd. Lopez was here playing 2nd. But Adrian Beltre moved down to Boston, and the Mariners made the switch in spring training. Figgins to 2nd, Lopez to 3rd. So a chance. 2 on, no outs. Had that in the first, came up empty. The only run coming on a solo homer from Tyler Colvin in the 2nd. Speaking of Adrian Beltre, his Red Sox went to the bottom of the 9th with a 6-5 lead over the Rockies. Ubaldo Jimenez gave up 6 runs in 5 2/3 tonight. But the Rockies have just tied it. Ian Stewart with a home run off Jonathan Papelbon. It's 6-6. Did he get him on the tag? He did. And the throw to first knocked down by Kochman on the bounce. So they get the lead runner Theriot. Fielder's choice for Baker, 1 out.
Ball was probably hit too slowly to turn the 5-4-3 double play, so Lopez decides to get the sure out. Terrio coming to third base right there, had to go out of the baseline to avoid the tag, and in doing so, he slowed up the play enough that Lopez had no chance to get Baker at first.
Trying to tie it up on that swing. Cliff Lee making his 4th career start against the Cubs, 2-0 lifetime. And a 1.99 ERA. Mariners got him from the Phillies over the winter. And he might not even be their best starter. King Felix is going to start tomorrow. Felix Hernandez, who many thought should have won the Cy Young last year. Zach Greinke won it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's still time to get great seats, including bleachers, for Cubs games this summer. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Strike on Nady, who thankfully can't hit into a double play this time up. There are already 2 outs. Been a rough night at the plate for Nady, and a rough pitch there for Rob Johnson. He's got a battle now, 0-2. I feel like all year we've been in the movie Groundhog Day, and in spots like this we hear Sonny and Cher on the alarm clock. First and second, nobody out. Runner at second, nobody out. And they just keep coming up empty. Second time tonight they put the first 2 on before an out was recorded and have not scored.
Hey, listen, out of sight Retro Night fans, just go to WGNAmerica.com for more info on your favorite TV classics.
For a limited time, you can carry out a large Domino's-inspired new pizza with any 2 delicious toppings of your choice. All for just $5.99.
It's such a great deal, we had to add one stipulation. Limit 256 per household per day. That is not happening.
Domino's $5.99 carry-out pizza deal. For a limited time, carry out a large 2-topping inspired new pizza for just $5.99. Only at Domino's.
Juicy Johnsonville sausage, made with only premium cuts of pork since 1945. Johnsonville, sausage is all we do.
I just wanted to look around. So I went on Ancestry.com to see if I could find my great-grandfather. It was unbelievable. I found all kinds of historical documents, including a census record that showed that he was the town's only doctor. It's funny, no one ever told me that.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
You really don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
4-year-old child is on the street. Half of all the children in these cases are killed flat out. If we don't catch the abductor by day 1, only about 10% are ever solved.
4-1 Mariners. Cubs continue to get guys on and leave them. And actually, they've only left 3 on base. Part of the problem has been double play balls. But they've had the leadoff man on in 3 different innings, and none of those innings did they score runs. 1 on Casey Kochman. One and 2. Been able to hold up. Bottom 3 in their order. Johnson and Saunders to follow. Kochman and Saunders with RBIs in that 4-run fourth. Beatty lets it go, and Wells beats Kochman to first base.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to www.wrigleyvillerooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Rob Johnson has struck out both times. Jason Giambi with a game-ending pinch hit 2-run homer to get the Rockies a win over Boston. That's a fair ball for Johnson. Kind of stumbled around first base. Little bobble by Colvin. And it'll probably be an error on Tyler because Johnson was going to stop at first. A single and an error.
Ball hit off the sidewall and ricocheted back to Tyler Colvin. He was looking up as that ball hit off the heel of his glove. He saw the slight stumble around first base by Johnson, but then when he saw Colvin having issues down in that right field corner, he turned the Jets on, went into second base. Single E9. Getting a little too far ahead of himself there. You gotta do one thing at a time. First thing you do is catch it. Then you look up and find your target.
That'll be a base hit, and the Mariners now lead 5-1. Throw's going to go to second. Saunders is in. And he knocks in Johnson. Michael Saunders with 2 RBIs from the 9 spot, including the go-ahead RBI, bases loaded walk back in the 4th.
I mentioned this bottom third of the Mariners lineup. The closest thing you have to a breather inning. Of course, you've got to execute your pitches. Randy Wells left that fastball up over the heart of the plate.
Rothschild chats with his starter Jeff Stevens and John Graybo get loose in the bullpen out and left. The pitch to Ichiro just feathers a bunt. Wells picks it up and maybe not able to flag it down. So Ichiro is safe on a bunt single.
Did we mention that's another thing that Ichiro worked on before the ball game today? Put down his sacrifice bunts to both sides of the field and then bunted for a base hit to both sides of the field. That time the runner and the ball got there at almost exactly the same time. Ball hit Nady's glove and just dropped right there in front of first base. Ichiro legs out a bunt single.
The second hit. And they're at the corners. Sean Figgins is up. Cornermen in, double play depth up the middle. Already 5-1 Seattle. Downstairs, ball one. Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. 10 hits now for Seattle. Nine singles and a double. To Baker. He gets one at second. No relay by Terrio. And it's now 6-1.
Another ground ball that just wasn't really hit hard enough to turn that double play, especially with Ichiro bearing down on Ryan Terrio there. Wyatt decides to hang on to it rather than risk a bad throw and allow Figgins to move into scoring position with 2 outs.
So an RBI for Figgins and a check on him.
And just a little tapper to the left side, takes a couple of bounces before it gets to Jeff Baker. In the meantime, Figgins is streaking down that first baseline, and Ichiro bearing down Ontario at second base.
The question is, did he have a play on Saunders at the plate?
I'd say he probably did. And given the fact the Cubs are playing at double play depth, that's one of those things where, depending on how you're positioned in the infield, make the play that you're supposed to make. And because they were playing at double play depth, you try to get the guy at home and don't get him. It opens the door for a really, really big inning for the Mariners.
Goes on the 0-2 and it's hit foul. Higgins 14 out of 18. And was a Major League stolen base champ in 05. 62 steals that year.
Tell by the way Figgins leads off at first base. That's his Los Angeles Angels influence. He opens that front shoulder up a little bit. The right foot opened up a little bit towards second base to try to clear that front side and clear his hip and be able to get up to top speed as quickly as possible.
Here's a throw by Soto. Late.
individuals teach throughout their organization. It just enables you to turn and get going in a straight line a lot faster than if you're square over there in your stance at first base. And sometimes it's just a matter of a 1/10 of a second at second base, the difference between being safe and out.
Sprayed foul. Still 1-2 on Bradley. Hilton's offensive production has really fallen off the last couple of years. And the best year of his career in 08 with Texas at .321. OPS of .999, hit .257 with the Cubs last year, and came in tonight at .211.
Well, that's good news for the beer drinkers over at the Bar and Grill.
So .211, it wouldn't be $211.
No,
it would be $2.11.
$2.11. Not only that, but they had the Milton Meltdown special. If Milton had some kind of a meltdown during the week, you could get a patty melt sandwich on the weekends for $5.
Terrio ranging to his left. He throws to Nady. And that's the end of the inning. They add 2 to their lead. It's 6-1 Mariners after 6.
Set him up. I'm buying around.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens. I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
Breathtaking.
Ladies, hello. It's me again, your TV. I cut your cable to show you a no-brainer, DirecTV. With DirecTV, you can record a show in this room, so the kids can watch it in this room. Or this room. Or perhaps this room. Any room. I'm talking options, ladies. You love them. DirecTV has them. So give them a call. DirecTV. It'll change your life.
No, not now. Come on, please.
Oh, great.
Nothing's worse than a dead battery. And nothing's more reliable than a Duralast battery. Engineered to start day in and day out, even under the most extreme conditions. Duralast. Proven tough. Only at AutoZone.
Now tonight's Honda CRV Games summary. Tyler Colvin with a long home run in the second. The only run the Cubs have scored in the first 2 games of this series. Milton Bradley 0 for 4, but the Mariners getting 4 runs in the 4th, adding 2 in the 6th. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2010 Honda CRV. And just like that, we're in the 7th inning. Cliff Lee's 1-0 pitch. Giovanni Soto got a piece of it. And a piece of Rob Johnson's mask. And then a foul strike. Houston has beaten the Giants for the first time this season after starting 0-7. 6-3 the final at Minute Maid. Brett Myers over Barry Zito. Inside, it's full 3-2. Out into left center field for Soto. That ball's going to roll all the way to the wall.
Bud Light rocks Chicago with the return of the Bud Light Concert Series. Lilith Fair is coming to the First Midwest Bank Amphitheater July 17th. Get your tickets at livenation.com. The Summer Concert Series is brought to you by Bud Light. Live music and Bud Light, here we go. Mary J. Blige, Hart, Kelly Clarkson.
Hart's going to be there?
Yeah.
The Wilson sisters, I like it. Swing and a miss by Soriano. Well, the Cubs trail 6-1 here late. Milwaukee beat Minnesota 5-3. If the Cubs don't come back and win, they'll be now tied with the Brewers for third. Cubs are closer to last than they are to first at the moment. I was talking with somebody before the game about how strange this game can be, how things can turn around quickly. Little blooper out into shallow center, and it drops. Soto had to make sure. And Soriano's going to take second because nobody's covering. Nice move there by Soriano. He saw nobody was at the second base bag. And that's a double for Soriano. Whose cover is that, Bob? Is it Kochman trailing the play?
The first baseman, or occasionally if the pitcher is aware enough to realize that both of his middle infielders are out into shallow center after that pop-up. Kochman was coming in to put himself into cutoff position for a possible throw from center field to home plate. So it's one of those tough ones. You just need your pitcher to be aware enough to read that play. Fortunately, that time Soriano, running with his head up, realized there was nobody there to cover second. Good advance that time.
Colvin pops it down the left field line. Long run Saunders. He's going to get it. Soto back to third. Boy, he just got in. Another blooper almost fell. 1 out.
Boy, Saunders had a lot of ground to cover there. We weren't sure, and neither was Giovanni Soto, whether he could get there or not. Soto was about a third of the way down the line and had to really hustle back to the bag to avoid getting doubled off.
Castro just splintered his bat. I don't think he realized it. Oh, yeah, he did. Cub fans, if you want to manage the game along with Lou, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio and play sets, hot tubs, and more. Scoreboard encouraging the fans here to make some noise. Apparently they could not decide that for themselves.
I'll tell you, Cliff Lee has used that breaking ball sparingly in this game, but almost every time he's thrown it, he's got a called third strike to that back door. Ball starts over in the left-handed batter's box, ends up on the outside corner to Starlin Castro. Not much you can do about that one.
Second and third, nobody out. Now second and third, 2 outs. Why does it feel like that alarm clock is about ready to go off again?
They say we're young and we don't know.
This is just getting ridiculous. Back to Lee. Can you believe this? 3 times tonight. The first 2 have reached, and the Cubs have failed to score.
I'm not advocating violence.
I'm a rageaholic cop. Maybe today's the day I blow. I don't know. It's up to you.
You go to jail. I'm just saying. It would be a crime to miss it.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by.
Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Hey, those gecko ringtones you put on our website are wonderful. People love them.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Turned out nice.
Got another one for you.
At Geico.com, it's easy to get a free rate quote, manage your policy, make payments, or even file a claim.
Now that's a ringtone.
Yeah, it's interesting. Certainly not the worst ringtone I've ever heard. Yeah, that might be the worst.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This is your first lesson. You never remember the beginning of a dream.
From the director of The Dark Knight.
How did you get here?
We're dreaming?
Inception.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX July 16.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Right-hander Jeff Stevens will work in relief of Randy Wells tonight. Tied a season high by allowing 10 hits. And also tying a season high, allowing 6 earned runs. So back to the drawing board for Randy Wells. He now has made it 10 consecutive winless starts. And might be staring at his 6th consecutive loss. The 1-0 to Lopez is in there 1-1.
And Jeff Stevens looking to rebound from a subpar outing. Went only an inning and a third against the Angels. Gave up 3 hits and 3 walks in that inning and a third. Fortunately, only 1 run scored.
Another strike. Coming up this August, Cubs have announced Chicago Cubs fantasy camp at Wrigley Field. The 2-day experience. Participants will watch the Cubs face the Reds in VIP style as Lopez strikes out from a private suite. Day of on-field training and actual baseball games with Cubs legends. Take BP off Rick Sutcliffe. Get batting tips from Billy Williams, Ernie Banks. And you can play on Wrigley Field as a Chicago Cub.
And if you get a base hit with runners in scoring position, you may actually get to play for the Cubs.
There you go. For more information, call 773-404-4748 or email WrigleyExperience@Cubs.com. So that's coming up in August. One and one on Gutierrez. They'll have a press conference following as well. You get a one-day contract. You get a customized Cubs uniform. That's a real deal.
Yep. Yeah, it's only a couple of days. I've worked some fantasy camps in the past that were a week long in the wintertime down in Arizona. And let me tell you, by the end of the week, there's some very beat-up fantasy players.
Use muscles that you've never used before. As Colvin retires Gutierrez. Let's see what's coming up on WGN.
Hug it out with four best friends in the City of Angels. Hang with the crew of Entourage this fall on WGN America.
Bob, today is the 26th anniversary of the Sandberg game, June 23rd, 1984. When the Hall of Famer went 5 for 6, 2 huge home runs late. Cubs beat St. Louis 12-11 on national TV in 11 innings.
Leadoff solo home run in the 9th inning off of Suter to tie the game at 9, and then a 2-run, 2-out homer in the 10th to tie it again at 11. And Bruce Suter just didn't give up many home runs. That's why it was really amazing. It's not unusual for Rhino to hit 2 home runs in a game, but against Bruce Suter to tie it twice late, that was amazing.
It was Willie McGee, right, who got the player of the game before the game ended.
I'm sure Willie had a nice day, but.
And time now to look at our PNC Cubs achiever. A current Iowa Cubs manager had a career day. PNC Bank, proud to be an official sponsor of the Chicago Cubs and just as proud to support the fans and community who cheer them on. PNC for the achiever in us all. To the 8th, 6-1 Seattle.
There have been many versions of the social greeting. The fist bump has been thrust into and out of vogue. The low 5 is cool for a while. The chest bump had its day, as did the outlaw, the forearm grasp, and the point and go. In certain circles, the headbutt, and of course, the bro hug double back tap combo. But one greeting stands the test of time, with a beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Thank you so much. Namaste. Bye-bye. Hey, just got off the phone with a sweet gal, fender bender. Think I got her to a good place.
Oh, then you'll love this. Online repair monitoring. After an accident, Esurance customers can get daily updates with photos of their car repairs in progress.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
That's really great.
Thanks.
I mean, really great.
Chad, I don't want to talk about feelings.
Sure you do.
Go to esurance.com or call today.
We have a pretty big family, and Olive Garden's one of the few places we can take them where everyone's happy.
Try our new Crest Belly dishes. Italian crepes stuffed with 5 cheeses with chicken and garlic cream sauce or with grilled Italian sausage, starting at just $10.95 at Olive Garden.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover? That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me.
Did it get cold?
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
the Craftsman Hammerhead, the only auto hammer worthy of the Craftsman name. Engineered to drive home nails with the touch of a button. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
White Sox Braves, Thursday, 2 East, 11 West on WGN America. You're watching Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN, your official summer baseball station. We're at Safeco Field. Sun finally setting here. Around 9:15 local time.
Going to be that time of night where the sky is going to be tough on fly balls to the outfield and the infield for that matter, especially those really high ones that get up above the lights.
Bird fouls it off. Cliff Lee was the American League Cy Young Award winner in 2008. And he'll get down for a base hit. Marlon Byrd 2 out of 4.
Play catch in the outfield, run the bases, or relax in the dugouts of Wrigley Field this Saturday. Limited tickets are available for $150 each and include a t-shirt, a photograph, baseball, and lunch. All proceeds benefit Chicago Cubs charities. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
There's Baker, 1 for 3. Cliff Lee started last year with Cleveland and then was sent to the Phillies on July 29th. He went 7-4 in 12 regular season starts, but was absolutely spectacular in the playoffs. 4-0 with 2 complete games and 5 starts. In game 1 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium, a complete game gem, 6-1 win. Gutierrez will get this one. Baker retired. Cool story. The taxi taking him to the park that day was stuck in traffic. It was getting late, so he found the nearest subway stop, rode the 6, then the 4. Got to the park in time. Nobody recognized him. And he pitched a complete game. No earned runs. Unfortunately for the Phillies, they didn't win that series, but not because of anything he did or didn't do.
And certainly Cliff Lee has distinguished himself during the regular season throughout his career, but those kind of postseason numbers when the lights are shining the brightest is the reason we see so many pro scouts here tonight giving Cliff Lee a real long look before they file their reports back with their own organizations. I can't think of a rotation in baseball where he wouldn't fit in real good at the top.
He won the Cy Young after a very rough 07 season. Was not even guaranteed a spot in Cleveland's opening day rotation. Grabbed the 5th spot and then went 22-3. Spent some time in the minors the year before. That's how far he had fallen off. But he works as hard as anybody in the game when you talk about starting pitchers, except for maybe Roy Halladay.
Well, he's a rare breed in the game today. He's a starting pitcher that when he takes that mound in the 1st inning, he expects to be out there in the 9th inning.
Ground ball to short. They get 1 and they get 2. 3rd double play turned by the Mariners in support of Cliff Lee. Still 6-1 Mariners.
It doesn't take much. An everyday moment can turn romantic at a moment's notice. And when it does, men with erectile dysfunction can be more confident in their ability to be ready with Cialis. With 2 clinically proven dosing options, you can choose the moment that's right for you and your partner. 36-hour Cialis and Cialis for daily use. Cialis for daily use is a low-dose tablet you take every day, so you can be ready anytime the moment's right, day or night.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity.
Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure.
Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor if Cialis is right for you. For a 30-tablet free trial offer, go to Cialis.com.
Happy 25th birthday, Blizzard!
Check it out! Every party needs a clown, right?
I didn't have a clown at my birthday. Me neither.
Turning 9 does not compare with being the world's greatest treat for 25 years, okay?
Clowns are earned, kids.
We are.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard with Golden Oreo cookies and strawberries. Then follow the party tour at DQ.com. And this month, try our Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard cake.
Stay tuned. The WGN News follows our broadcast. Lourdes Duarte with the news. Jim Ramsey with the weather. Understand a lot of severe weather in the Chicago area tonight. Dan Roan will have the sports. Big postseason award for Blackhawks defenseman Duncan Keith. Stay tuned. Left-hander Sean Marshall will handle the 8th.
Well, Sean Marshall's been really good lately. Since April 24th, his ERA is 1.16. That lowered his overall ERA from 3.86 down to where it is today at 1.93.
And by the way, through 8 innings tonight, Cliff Lee 7 strikeouts, no walks. So that is now, if my math is right, 74 strikeouts and 4 walks. Are you kidding me?
Just amazing. Just amazing.
And only 3 homers allowed.
I mean, that's the really amazing part of it. You know, when you face Cliff Lee, he's going to be around the plate all night long. Doesn't have any unusual pitches, a fastball, a changeup, a breaking pitch. He's always in the strike zone, and guys still can't hit it.
At 100 pitches through 8. Swing and a miss. Nasty on the breaker to get Kochman.
Now, Kochman, not the kind of hitter that would normally take an at-bat against a tough left-handed pitcher in a close ball game. But with a 5-run lead, he's their best defensive first baseman, so he's going to stay in the ball game.
Bob Johnson now 1 for 3 with a run. And we want to congratulate shortstop Hak-Ju Lee and outfielder Brett Jackson. They will represent the Cubs in the Futures game, which will take place at Angels Stadium during the All-Star festivities in mid-July. Lee will play for the World Team, Jackson for the U.S.
It'll be interesting to see what the Cubs do with Hak-Ju Lee, who was a shortstop this year. Has played some second base as well, and with Starlin Castro seemingly taking over that shortstop position for the long term, may see a position change for Lee, or perhaps Castro move over to the other side of the bag. We'll see what happens.
I believe Starlin participated for the World Team last year. Yeah, 1 for 1 with a run as the World Team beat the U.S. 7-5. A full count pitch to Johnson, ball 4. A 1-out base runner. Jeff Samardzija tonight. He was starting for Iowa, and he went into that start 5-0 with a 1.59. One strike the count. Saunders way back toward the 385 and just over the wall for a 2-run homer. A 4 RBI night for the number 9 hitter who came in at 209 on the year.
Came into this game in this series talking about Ichiro and Figgins at the top of the order, and it's been the bottom third that's done all the damage tonight. Kochman with a hit and a walk, Johnson with a hit and a walk, and Saunders with a big night. 4 RBIs, a homer, a double. They've scored 5 runs between them, the 3 guys at the bottom of the order.
8-1 Seattle. Outside corner on Ichiro. Saunders with his 5th of the year. Hey, we've seen a couple balls just smoked in this ballpark, and I thought that one would be 10-20 rows back. It barely got out.
It really plays differently once the sun goes down, as you said earlier tonight, Len. It was a bandbox during batting practice. Everybody was hitting home runs when the sun was still out. The temperatures were warm, but as the air begins to cool, the ball just doesn't carry here.
Jeff Samardzija tonight, 4 1/3, 2 runs and a no decision as Iowa lost to Omaha 6-4. Third. To finish up the point earlier about how things can change, there have been some examples already this year. I mean, look at the Mariners. At one point, other than Baltimore, they were arguably the worst team in the league. They're closing in on what would be their 6th straight win, during which they've allowed just 3 runs. The White Sox have turned their season around. The problem is we just haven't seen any signs of it from this Cubs team.
Well, the really disturbing thing is the teams that seem to turn their year around, the White Sox, this Seattle team, they do it against the Cubs.
The White Sox won again tonight, 4-2 over the Braves. They have now won 12 out of 13. Their 8th consecutive win. Game to figure out. How about the Mets? 11 games over 500.
We got them going early in the season too. They were struggling, talking about firing their manager.
They won 3 out of 4 in that series against the Cubs. Two to Ichiro. Got a lot of style, doesn't he?
He sure does. Boy, and this is what guys that win batting titles do. An 8-1 ball game. Ichiro's last at bat of the game. He's already had 2 knocks in the ball game, and he's up there grinding away like this is the biggest at bat of his career.
I can think of another guy like that who never gave up an at bat. Pete Rose. That's a great call. And there might be some out there going, what do you mean he doesn't give up an at bat? Well, he usually has about 700 plate appearances a year. Draws the 1-out walk.
And what you'll see a lot of times from an offensive player when his team has a big lead like the Mariners do in this ball game is you go up there and say, I'm going to try to satellite one. I'm going to see if I can hit a home run this at bat. And Ichiro just continues to grind away, foul off the tough pitches, try to get something good to handle. If not, a rare walk that time for Ichiro, something he doesn't do a lot of.
Including the 5 tonight, Ichiro's had 6,925 career plate appearances. And now has 2,128 career hits. And those hits coming in 1,497 games. Pete Rose with under 1,900 hits during the same amount of games. Now the problem for Ichiro, he's not going to catch Pete Rose because he's 36 years old and had a long career in Japan before he came over here. But if Ichiro had made his major league debut when he was about 20 or 21, he probably would at some point have passed Pete Rose. Castro on a knee. Terrio the quick turn. They get 2. 6-4-3 to end the 8th. Saunders a 2-run homer off to the 9th. All Mariners 8-1.
Breathtaking.
Ladies, hello. It's me again, your TV. I cut your cable to show you a no-brainer, DirecTV. With DirecTV, you can record a show in this room, so the kids can watch it in this room. Or this room. Or perhaps this room. Any room. I'm talking options, ladies. You love them. DirecTV has them. So give them a call. DirecTV. It'll change your life.
There's complete. And then there's most complete. Like what you get from Centrum Ultra Men's. The most complete multivitamin for men. It has antioxidants to help support your immunity. And nutrients like vitamin D for your colon. Centrum Ultra Men's.
Losing the game isn't all bad. Because Coach always takes us to Pizza Hut after a tough loss. Coach says Pizza Hut pizzas are just $10 each. So we can get whatever we want. Yeah, with all the toppings we love. It's awesome. Ah, the sweet taste of victory. But we lost. Ah, the sweet taste of defeat.
Right now, any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings for only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology. Only from Wagner. The finish you want. The value you're looking for.
Welcome back to Safeco Field. Top of the 9th, 8-1. Cliff Lee cruising along tonight. And Xavier Nady swings and misses. Now, I have a feeling if this thing holds up, the Mariners game notes tomorrow afternoon, Bob, is going to be chock full of You know, the Mariners pitching staff doing X and Y and Z for the first time in a long, long time. 6 games, 3 runs. I mean, that's not something you see very often. And their starting staff coming in tonight 5-0 with a 0.47 over their last 5. So Cliff Lee will likely make it 6-0, and the ERA will actually go up because he gave up the Colvin homer. Swing and a miss. On the high heat, still pretty steady at 92. Time now for the BMW drive of the game. The only run for the Cubs. Tyler Colvin gave them a 1-0 lead in the second. Only BMW offers ultimate service. Buy a BMW now and pay 0 maintenance costs for 4 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first. Swing and a miss at a changeup. The 0-1 to Soto. A fly ball to right, not going to carry. Ichiro, 2 down. I know Cliff Lee would like to be on a contender later this year, but as he goes into free agency, there are a lot of worse places to pitch. I mean, a cool night, hasn't really broken a sweat. Big ballpark. It's not close to home, but seems to be a really good fit here in Seattle. Swing and a miss. Can the Cubs get to Felix Hernandez tomorrow? Ted Lilly will oppose the right-hander. Coming off a gem. In his last start, he goes Friday against Carlos Zambrano. 1-2 to Soriano.
That was Cliff Lee just wanting to end this game with that last pitch. Catcher Rob Johnson called for a breaking ball in the dirt. He shook that off. He called for a high fastball, pitches that you would normally throw when you're ahead in the count. He shook them all off. He just wanted to throw a fastball in the middle of the plate.
The 2-2 to Soriano. Feathered out into short center for a hit. Josh Wilson, I think, misjudged it. Got off to a late start. He might have been able to catch it. And the Cubs still barely alive. 5 hits in the series now for Alfonso.
And a number of them have been just like this. Little floaters where he got jammed but was strong enough to get it over the infield in front of the outfield. That extends the game. At least one more at bat here for Tyler Colvin.
He clubs it foul. He's got some good rips in there against Cliff Lee tonight. Sean White, a right-hander, up for the Mariners just in case. Soriano takes off for second. Will not be credited for the steal as the Mariners were not holding him. Doesn't Sean White have really long red hair?
Well, that flying tomato must not be the same one.
Down the left field line. Lopez can't get it. Saunders and Wilson had better angles on it, but they were farther away.
And Lopez Lopez actually overran it a little bit. Got too far out into left field and had to turn to his left and couldn't quite get there. Fans here at Safeco Field sure wanted that last pitch. Cut fastball, just drifted off the outside corner far enough for Mike Riley to call it ball 2.
Swing and a miss. Cliff Lee with his 4th complete game of the year. After losing 10 of 12, the Mariners have rattled off 6 in a row, during which they have allowed a measly 3 runs. So the Cubs will have to settle for 1 if they can get it tomorrow. 8-1 the final. We'll be back.
Next on WGN News, high winds and powerful storms leave damage scattered throughout the city. We're live with the latest and a chance for fans to play with Cubs greats at Wrigley. Plus, the Bulls' new head coach talks about the future.
I'm not advocating violence.
I'm a rageaholic cop. Maybe today's the day I blow. I don't know. It's up to you.
You go to jail. I'm just saying. It would be a crime to miss it.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens.
I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
Marshmallow. Marshmallow. We put in exactly 6 cups. Help me pour them. Perfect. Now we can put one in a bowl. Try to move it this way.
Everybody likes a little taste of independence.
Set it down.
All right, you go. Oh, that's so good.
Happy 4th of July.
Good night, buddy.
Good morning, Dad.
Oreo, Milk's favorite cookie. The Craftsman Cordless Multi-Tool. The power and versatility of 6 tools packed into one. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Juicy Johnsonville sausage, made with only premium cuts of pork since 1945. Johnsonville, sausage is all we do.
You've been wearing that bracelet since junior high?
We need to talk to you about this dedicated claims rep thing.
Okay. Well,
Calling yourselves dedicated? We're all dedicated, okay? The entire website team worked late every night this week. Look at Sanjeev, he's a mess.
What?
Guys,
No.
we're called dedicated claims reps because we each stay with an Esurance customer throughout the automobile claims process.
Yeah.
It's not because we think we work harder than you.
Well, you don't.
Am I a mess?
You slept in the vending machine.
Call today or go to esurance.com.
For a limited time, you can carry out a large Domino's-inspired new pizza with any 2 delicious toppings of your choice. All for just $5.99.
It's such a great deal, we had to add one stipulation. Limit 256 per household per day. That is not happening.
Domino's $5.99 carry-out pizza deal. For a limited time, carry out a large 2-topping inspired new pizza for just $5.99. Only at Domino's.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Chicago Cubs baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. By Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by the Illinois Lottery. Mega Millions can find you twice a week. Tuesday and Friday jackpots start at $12 million. Here's tonight's Budweiser play of the game. We're going to go with the Ichiro two-run single. Really kind of broke this game open, made it 4-1. That followed the Michael Saunders go-ahead RBI bases-loaded walk. Budweiser with full flavor and a crisp finish. It's what we do. The Mariners beat the Cubs for the second straight night. 8-1 the final. We'll wrap it up in a moment.
It's understood that if you get up to get a Budweiser, you come back with a round. How you carry that round is a matter of personal preference. There's the six-pack Strangler, the St. Bernard, the flock of geese, the marsupial, the Sherpa, the claw, even the more advanced Labrador Retriever. But we always come back with a beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
We just had the carpets cleaned.
That was the pizza guy.
You said you bought a DiGiorno.
But the pizza came with cheesy breadsticks.
New DiGiorno pizza and breadsticks. Taste, believe. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
She found a box.
Maybe because you left it right on the counter.
No, not now. Come on, please.
Oh, great.
Nothing's worse than a dead battery. And nothing's more reliable than a Duralast battery. Engineered to start day in and day out, even under the most extreme conditions. Duralast. Proven tough. Only at AutoZone.
Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
Yes!
Just for Men.
This is my worst nightmare. What's the manual say? The free HD switch is under a panel. Would you look at this thing? It's nothing but panels. There's that one that says free HD switch. Let's start there. Yeah, all right. Watch this. Can't do it. Look at this guy. He's got an Allen wrench. Let me ask you this. Do you have any tools? Yeah. Should have brought tools.
Cubs have dropped to a season worst 9 games under 500, 31-40. Seattle now 30-41. They have won their last 6 in a row. Cliff Lee with a complete game 9 hitter gave up just a home run to Colvin, and he wins it. Randy Wells takes the loss as the Cubs drop this one 8-1. Our next WGN broadcast of Cubs baseball will be Sunday when the Cubs take on the White Sox. Final game of this season's BP Crosstown Cup. We'll start things at noon with a showdown in the city, followed by a half-hour edition of the Leadoff Man. Once again, the final score tonight, the Mariners 8, the Cubs 1. Now for my partner Bob Brenly and our entire WGN sports crew here in Seattle, this is Len Casper inviting you to stay tuned. The WGN News is next.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Whoa!
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Hey, those gecko ringtones you put on our website are wonderful. People love them.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Turned out nice.
Got another one for you.
At Geico.com, it's easy to get a free rate quote, manage your policy, make payments, or even file a claim.
Now that's a ringtone.
Yeah, it's interesting. Certainly not the worst ringtone I've ever heard. Yeah, that might be the worst.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Who's serving up a big breakfast this weekend?
On an endless buffet, a juicy steak.
Don't flip out.
Only Golden Corral would include steak for breakfast. It's on our endless weekend breakfast buffet, all for a great low price. Only at Golden Corral.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me.
Did it get cold? Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as one treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Lightning, tornado warnings, massive downpours, you name it. It's been a stormy and dangerous night around the Chicago area. Good evening to you. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you for staying with us on this late edition of the WGN News. Our top stories seen around the country on WGN America tonight. Let's start with Jim Ramsey and a look at what we got tonight. Jim.
I'm telling you, Lourdes, this was a fascinating storm. Widespread tree damage, extensive power outages, and it's no wonder why. Take a look at some of these maximum wind gusts, a number of them above hurricane force. In fact, the full extent of the damage may not be known completely until after sunrise tomorrow. Where are the storms at the moment? They're still passing through parts of the area. In fact, central Indiana, at least a big chunk of it, continues under a flash flood watch. That in effect until about 4 o'clock in the morning. These storms developing just ahead of an approaching cold front that will actually dry the air out around the Chicago area. We're expecting that tomorrow will be quite a contrast over today's weather, with bright sunshine expected and significantly cooler temperatures. In fact, already, now that these storms have passed to the south and east, we've seen our temperatures drop more than 15 degrees in the Chicago area. But the big story, of course, the storms and the extent of the damage, high winds, and so forth. Still, as we say, it may be after sunrise tomorrow morning before it gets a full inspection across the area to find out just what type of havoc this storm and storm complex has created. But tonight it continues to diminish in intensity, but continues also to be quite a rain producer. And in fact, parts of Ohio, as well as interior Indiana, are expecting very heavy rains to continue until the storm finally dies out a little later this evening. Of course, we'll go into the storm dynamics and the full forecast a little later in the broadcast. Lourdes?
Thank you, Jim. All sorts of damage and disruptions throughout the area tonight. One of the hardest hit areas, I-55, where commuters are slowly moving through flooded portions of the expressway. WGN's Judy Garcia is live with the very latest. Judy.
Lourdes, the Stevenson has been a mess this entire evening commute. Even now, almost midnight, take a look. Traffic is just now beginning to move a little more smoothly. State Police, IDOT still on the scene. All the cause of this entire snag, inbound and outbound Stevenson, surrounded by Pulaski on one side, Damon on the other, several feet of water on the roadway. This was the cause of the problem. Apparently accumulating water, IDOT says as much as 4 or 5 feet, unable to drain off the roadway. Drivers on the outbound Stevenson were being forced off before they got to Pulaski. Drivers inbound who found themselves stuck just at that point could not see the problem, knew the traffic was at a standstill, thought perhaps there might have been an accident. But one of the people stuck, a CLTV midday producer on the road 4.5 hours, says finally, as they approached the Damon area on the Stevenson inbound, they could see the problem for themselves.
We saw that there was a bunch of water on the ground and that the semi was trying to avoid hitting cars that had gotten stuck in it. So we get back in our car, it starts raining more, there's a lot of lightning, people are, are taking down their umbrellas, they're scared sitting in their car. As the water stopped, as it stopped raining, we were able to see that there was more water rising. IDOT said it was between 4 to 5 feet, that the ground was saturated and there was nowhere for the water to go.
All right, and IDOT anticipates it will take several more hours to get the water off the roadway. As you can see, State Police still on the inbound side here at Pulaski. They did allow a few semis to go through, only very large vehicles. We can surmise that perhaps they're trying to see what vehicles can get through that area. and they hope to have this situation under control in time for the morning rush. Be aware this is an ongoing situation. It is affecting tangential roadways, Pulaski, Cicero, Damon, because all these semis and passenger vehicles are trying to find alternate routes into or out of Chicago. So bear in mind, even at this hour, it's still a bit of a mess to try to get around here. And for the latest information, drivers should tune into WGN TV's Morning News and CLTV News throughout the night for updated conditions. Lourdes?
Thank you so much. Judy Garcia reporting for us tonight from I-55. Well, the western suburbs not spared either. WGN's Tom Negevin filed this report from West Suburban Oak Brook.
We could see the rain start to pick up and the water started to move really in a weird direction, kind of just swishing back and forth in the parking lot. And then we just saw this big mass white cloud, and it was clearly a tornado, but it wasn't one of those, cylindrical, pretty type tornadoes. It was just a big blob of white, and you couldn't see through anything, and then you could hear this roar.
The scene locals describe is chilling. They watched as the sky went black and something unworldly rolled through. There's driving rain, horizontal winds of hurricane strength. On roads and highways like I-88, it rained trees and branches. Streets are flooded, light posts torn from concrete bases. In Oak Brook, roofs were torn from a string of office buildings, water pouring in as workers huddled inside.
Couldn't even see anything out the window. The sky was completely black. The roof's off. It was a waterfall coming down through the building.
As darkness falls for the second time tonight, residents are just beginning to assess the damage as ComEd crews deal with downed lines and getting the lights back on. In one subdivision, there's a gas leak and police working to make sure everyone's accounted for. For those who made it through, there's relief to have seen a twister up close and be able to talk about it.
I was just thinking, try to get to the basement as soon as possible without the roof caving in.
So this is the building those workers were inside when the twister hit, and this is the building's roof, now strewn out into the driveway. Just some of the debris. Workers here will get back to cleaning up come light of day tomorrow morning. In Oak Brook, Tom Negevin, WGN News.
And some of the best video and pictures we've seen from tonight have actually come from you, including some stuff from Oak Brook. Take a look at this. We got this from I-88, just west of Spring Road, which isn't too far from the Oak Brook Mall. You can see a semi tipped over right in the middle of the highway, making for a very slow commute there. And this was a scene on I-55 at Pulaski, where the highway was totally flooded out. That was near where Judy Garcia was, stranding drivers for hours there as well. And what an amazing shot here. A lightning strike hitting the highest point in the Chicagoland area, the antenna on top of the Willis Tower. And then look at this one right here. Amazing video sent in to us from one of our viewers, Nick Marcinkowski. It is lightning striking the Trump Tower as well as the John Hancock building. Now, the storm also knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of ComEd customers. 230,000 customers were without power in the city and the suburbs. So far, ComEd says service has been restored for nearly 70,000 customers. Still ahead tonight, some of the other news of the day. It has happened again. Passengers stuck on another airplane without food or air conditioning. And is this right here the answer to Japan's dwindling population problem? We'll explain.
You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News with Micah Mater, Mark Zapelsa, Tom Skilling, and Dan Roan. This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Okay, so Jen, you go deep.
Hey, here's a good call. New whole grain helper. Try some.
Honey mustard chicken.
With 100% whole grain rice.
Hey, can you catch?
No, sir, I cannot. New whole grain helper. 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 whole grain meal.
I'm hungry. What's for dinner?
Hey, little dude, dinner's my middle name. How about some hamburger helper? Oh my, but your mouth is gonna love it. And your wallet's gonna be pretty heavy, too.
Now this is the deal of the day.
Hamburger helper. 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 tasty meal.
Tune in to Victory in Grace on WGN.
That grace.
It's exceedingly abundant.
That amazing grace.
Grace of God. Every Sunday at 5:30 a.m. Central Time and 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
My name is John Neal, and I have a Bowflex body.
I'm an instructor in health and fitness, and I think that people believe in what I'm saying because not only am I teaching it, I'm living it. I put on 12 pounds of muscle. Doing the work on the Bowflex will get you the results.
Now it's your turn during the Bowflex Summer Body Sale. Prices on every home gym have been reduced to help you get in shape for summer. Save up to $300, $400, even $500 off. Only Bowflex home gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a broader chest, a defined back, and powerful biceps fast. Right now, you can get your very own home gym for no money down and as little as $10 a month.
I'm having pickup games with guys half my age, and I'm not afraid to say that for the most part. I'm kicking their butts pretty good.
To get your summer body, call or go online to getabowflex.com today.
You got to get this DVD. It'll change your life.
You could win a trip to venture into a world of magic and excitement at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, only at Universal Orlando Resort. Here, you'll experience 2 amazing theme parks and stay on site at Lowe's Portofino Bay Hotel, Universal Orlando Resort. Be courageous, be outrageous, be extraordinary. Visit WGNAmerica.com to enter and for your chance to win.
A Bears tickets bust thanks to a victim who helped police get to the suspect through Craigslist. WGN's Randy Bellosomo has a story.
This is my first sting operation. I don't know. I've never been in sting. Who else has been in sting? It sounds like it's coming from the movies.
This near-north resident doesn't want to be identified because he just can't believe he got duped. But yesterday, he helped police nab a man who had 3 outstanding arrest warrants and who took him for almost $4,000.
Me and my friends wanted to buy some Bears tickets online. You know, want to get season tickets. We had them last year, and I found this ad on Craigslist. 6 tickets, face value, you know. It seemed like a too good to be true kind of a deal.
But he went forward with it anyway and fronted the money for the rest of his friends. He handed over a check to a friend of the seller for half, $3,750. The rest he would pay when the tickets came in the mail. But the next day, he got a phone call from a buddy. That buddy saw the seller's name on ripoffreport.com.
I felt sick to my stomach. I just knew I just got scammed.
Too late to cancel the check, he called police and they asked him for help. He was to set up another meeting with the seller at this Starbucks at Dearborn and Division. The police would do the rest if he could just follow their advice.
Just act normal, wear whatever you're wearing right now. You know, just bring your old contract that you signed before. Don't act nervous.
He was in place last night when they arrived, minutes before the seller.
They came in, they looked at me, and I looked at them, and we just kind of gave each other a head nod and a wink, and they walked to the back of the Starbucks, and right now my heart's really racing. This is really going down.
Police got their guy, who will likely be charged Thursday with felony theft by deception. 6 other victims have come forward, police say. They've been scammed somewhere close to $75,000. Our guy is out his money and his Bears tickets, but his revenge will ensure no one else will be ripped off.
Tough lesson learned for me. Don't buy online off Craigslist. Get verified. I'm an idiot. Other people are idiots too. We know this. You don't have to lecture us. You know, we get the point. But the guy's in jail. It's good.
Randy Bellosomo, WGN News.
BP crews are working tonight to replace that cap over the gushing oil well at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. A robot working near the well cap bumped into it earlier today, so the cap was removed for inspection and the huge flow of crude oil into the waters resumed. Apparently, BP found there was no damage, no danger of another blowout, so they're working to put that cap back on the disabled wellhead to resume recovery operations. Lawmakers from both parties are praising President Obama's decision to oust General Stanley McChrystal as the war commander in Afghanistan. General David Petraeus will replace him and was at the president's side today. CNN's Stan Lothian reports from the White House on the president's decision.
Saying that it was a change in personnel, not policy, President Obama closed the book on his top man in Afghanistan, General Stanley McChrystal.
The conduct represented in the recently published article does not meet the standard that should be set by a commanding general.
President Obama called General McChrystal to Washington from Afghanistan to hear him out in person before making his decision. A 32-minute one-on-one meeting in the Oval Office could not reverse a feeling that the general was no longer capable of carrying out the U.S. mission in Afghanistan.
It undermines the civilian control of the military that is at the core of our democratic system. And it erodes the trust that's necessary for our team to work together to achieve our objectives in Afghanistan.
This isn't the first time that General McChrystal locked horns with the administration. Last year, he publicly dismissed a smaller, leaner force in Afghanistan that the vice president was advocating. He was reprimanded by Mr. Obama. This time, McChrystal and his aides were quoted in Rolling Stone magazine taking shots at President Obama and his entire national security team. A big distraction for the White House, even as the U.S. and coalition forces wage a difficult war. In a statement, General McChrystal said he resigned out of respect for the president's strategy in Afghanistan and a desire to see the mission succeed. Bruce Fleming, a Naval Academy professor who will soon release a book on the friction between military and civilian leadership, says this controversy reveals a long-standing problem on the battlefield.
They don't like it that people who are not military tell them what to do.
That frustration is what Fleming says the administration needs to focus on now, much bigger than a few controversial comments by a four-star general. A senior administration official says that the president's tone in the meeting with his national security team was stern, and that he pointed out that while he appreciates disagreements and differences, he will not tolerate pettiness. Dan Lothian, CNN, the White House.
It has happened again. Passengers on a flight headed to New Jersey say they were stranded for hours without air conditioning or food. Crystal Haynes caught up with some of the passengers who were stuck.
Do we need our passports?
Well, for these travelers, the real beginning was across the pond in England.
We got on the aircraft an hour late, and then there was no air conditioning, so it was absolutely roasting, so we were all dead sweaty and horrid. We had to wait for hours, and then when we did get up in the air, we had to wait again when we came back down, and there was no air conditioning again for 4 hours.
Rhiannon was among 300 passengers and 14 crew members who say they were kept on the hot Virgin Atlantic Airways plane without food or water for more than 4 hours at Bradley International Airport. They say they landed there at about 8:20 p.m. Tuesday and were kept on the plane until about 1 a.m. Wednesday.
There was a lot of people shouting and stuff and really kind of like getting agitated and stuff, and there was a lot of babies on the plane, which was such a shame. Like all the mums and stuff, you could just like sympathize with them.
There were also reports that at least 3 people fainted and needed medical attention. Bradley Operations tells me 5 ambulances were called to the tarmac. The Virgin Atlantic spokeswoman says the airline apologizes for any inconvenience. Passengers tell me it was mechanical, beginning in England, and the airport tells me part of it was lack of staffing at customs.
There was some time lags there, and again, we worked with the airline and with the members of the airport community.
Stories like this have become so common. A new federal tarmac delay rule preventing planes from sitting for more than 3 hours went into effect this April. A surprise to these girls from the UK.
There was an American guy saying that behind me, and I thought he was just being annoying because he was talking a lot. And I was like, yeah, we get it, we're all hot.
But it's no joke to Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood. His office tells me the tarmac delay rule doesn't cover international flights now, but the DOT recently proposed a second one to expand it. In a statement, he says these events reported overnight in Connecticut reinforce my belief that passengers have rights and are entitled to fair treatment when they fly. Our Aviation Enforcement Office will be looking into the incident to determine whether any violations occurred.
Well, still ahead tonight, Jim Ramsey has another update on what's left of the severe weather and also a look ahead at what we can expect for the rest of the week. Stay with us.
Want to know some of our favorite things? We love summertime fun.
Wearing our favorite colors. And jamming to our favorite bands.
But we love eating Totino's the most.
for fun.
And best of all, our favorite,
Attention catheter users, stop using dirty catheters. Catheters are now disposable. Recent changes in Medicare now allow patients up to 200 new catheters a month. These new catheters are easier to use and disposable. Use them once and throw them away, all at little or no cost to you. We bill Medicare. And at Medical Direct Club, we will send you a free catheter sample when you call and join. Membership is free. Put an end to the mess and risk of infection by using old catheters. Eliminate trips to the pharmacy and insurance paperwork. Shipping is free. Call Medical Direct Club now to receive your free catheter sample. Our catheter specialists are standing by to answer your questions. All it takes is one phone call, and Medical Direct Club will have these new disposable catheters discreetly delivered right to your door. Shipping is always free.
Call 1-800-985-9374 to receive your free catheter sample. That's 1-800-985-9374.
Attention drivers statewide. If you are insured with Allstate, Geico, State Farm, or any other car insurer, you may be overpaying by hundreds of dollars. Find out how to get immediate savings through 21st Century Insurance. What would it take to get you to switch your car insurance? If we told you that you could save $474 a year, wouldn't you pick up the phone? Start dialing, because you could save that much. People who switch from Geico saved around $481. From Allstate, $526. Your savings could be higher, like this driver who switched. Or this one. And no other company gives you 21st Century Security Advantage that includes roadside assistance at no additional cost. Immediate savings available through 21st Century Insurance. Call for a free rate quote today. Call 1-800-903-5520 for a free rate quote. You could save hundreds of dollars. That number again is 1-800-903-5520. Call now or visit 21st.com.
Well, it was a party in the weather office today because you guys were working, busy like bees. Everybody was in there.
Well, they were. I wasn't. I was actually at home watching the coverage. By the way,
And then you heard the phone call. Come in, Jim.
You and Mark and Tom Skilling were spectacular.
How's Tom doing?
Some of the best storm coverage I've ever seen.
Is he spending the night in?
Yeah, and as soon as he regains consciousness, he'll be...
All right, he'll be back on air.
No, he's doing very well. He has been logging some of the storm reports, and
Man, what a night.
He has had one busy day back in the weather office. In fact, all of the staff back there have been extremely busy.
Yeah.
We're still monitoring that line of storms, by the way. It's pushing through central Indiana, but it is quickly falling apart. However, there continues a flood watch, flash flood watch, for parts of central Indiana until about 4 o'clock in the morning. Look at that time-lapse camera. What a presentation of what the city faced during the late afternoon. This was a fascinating storm. The elements of the storm came together about 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon in parts of eastern Iowa and extreme western Illinois, forming this line, which came in through the Chicago area with some punch and an extremely impressive sight on radar. But now as it's drifted to the south and east, you can see it has weakened substantially, at least in part. We still see some elements of this complex which represent some pretty powerful thunderstorms right now pushing through parts of Ohio toward Pennsylvania. A little wider view here, it extends all the way from Michigan down to the Texas Panhandle. What set up this nightmare? Well, very warm, moist air to the south and the onrush of slightly milder air coming in from the west. Also drier air. That, along with the fact that a lot of positive charge in the atmosphere, set up a very volatile situation. We mentioned the flash flood watches continuing in effect for a big chunk of Indiana and also parts of central and southern Illinois. Temperatures today, here's part of the problem, up to 87 degrees, but that's milder air, which will be filtering into the region tomorrow. Presently, our temperature at 71 degrees. We've got dew point temperatures, which are beginning to sag, but still quite high. They were up in the low 70s earlier in the day. Heat index, well, that's kind of humorous at this hour, but it was up above 90 degrees for much of the day today. Look at the winds. Still rather brisk out there at speeds generally of 5 to 15 with some wind gusts tending to die down a bit, but still impressive. Temperature forecast shows milder air coming in for a couple of days. but it's going to warm up after that. Here's our forecast, first of all, for tonight across the area. Clouds scatter, cooler, not as moist out there. Low temperature 64 to 68. Then for Thursday, sunny, puffy, cumulus clouds. Those are Tom's words. I like that. Not as warm or humid. Look at that high, 83 degrees. And then for tomorrow night, we're expecting not a bad evening at all in the area. Scattered clouds, low temperature around 65. Winds not particularly strong, not much muscle there, 7 miles per hour. Then on Friday, sunshine, fair weather, clouds. Pretty nice June day with a high temperature expected of 86 degrees. 7-day forecast. We get back into the heat over the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, the clouds thicken up a bit. We could see more thunderstorms in the area. At the moment, not quite as intimidating as the storms we've seen both today and last Friday, but could be stormy, particularly on Sunday, something we'll watch very closely.
So we'll get like a 2-day break in there.
About 2 days with no threat of rain, but Saturday probably will be dry, just a slight chance of a passing shower or thunderstorm.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Jim, I'm about to show you what I think may be the ugliest baby I have ever seen. That's right, I said it. Here it is. This little baby robot is Yotaro. He may be able to help Japan with its dwindling population problem. Yotaro has some real-life characteristics, from runny noses to preset emotions that can be seen on his face. He is also warm to the touch. Japanese authorities admit they hope that couples will be so smitten with baby robot Yotaro that they'll want to have their own babies. Who knows? Well, just ahead, the 80s are alive and well at this Wicker Park coffee house. Our Marcus LeShock sits down for a cup of joe, a little Jaws, and some Ghostbusters, too.
You could win a trip to venture into a world of magic and excitement at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, only at Universal Orlando Resort. Here, you'll experience 2 amazing theme parks and stay on site at Lowe's Portofino Bay Hotel, Universal Orlando Resort. Be courageous, be outrageous, be extraordinary. Visit WGNAmerica.com to enter and for your chance to win.
Okay, so Jen, you go deep.
Hey, here's a good call. New whole grain helper. Try some.
Honey mustard chicken.
With 100% whole grain rice.
Hey, can you catch?
No, sir, I cannot. New whole grain helper. 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 whole grain meal.
I'm hungry. What's for dinner?
Hey, little dude, dinner's my middle name. How about some hamburger helper? Oh my, but your mouth is gonna love it. And your wallet's gonna be pretty heavy, too.
Now this is the deal of the day.
Hamburger helper. 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 tasty meal.
My name is John Neal, and I have a Bowflex body. I'm an instructor in health and fitness, and I think that people believe in what I'm saying because not only am I teaching it, I'm living it. I put on 12 pounds of muscle. Doing the work on the Bowflex will get you the results.
Now it's your turn during the Bowflex Summer Body Sale. Prices on every home gym have been reduced to help you get in shape for summer. Save up to $300, $400, even $500 off. Only Bowflex home gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a broader chest, a defined back, and powerful biceps fast. Right now, you can get your very own home gym for no money down and as little as $10 a month.
I'm having pickup games with guys half my age, and I'm not afraid to say that for the most part. I'm kicking their butts pretty good.
To get your summer body, call or go online to getabowflex.com today.
You gotta get this DVD. It'll change your life.
You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
It is the furthest thing from a corporate coffee house you're going to find. WGN's Marcus LeShock gets a cup of coffee and heads back to the 80s.
Hey there, it's Marcus LeShock. Now, if you ever check out my blog, you probably noticed that I have this unhealthy obsession with the movie Back to the Future. So if there was ever a coffee shop for me, it's probably this one. Wicker Park's Wormhole Coffee is so new, they don't even have a sign yet. Right now, they're pretty much known as the coffee shop with the DeLorean.
The Wormhole is a trip back in time to circa 1984, which was, I think, my favorite year. I don't know if you saw this here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice this. The shop ordered the DeLorean from the DMC repair facility in Crystal Lake. It doesn't have an engine, so getting it in the shop was the biggest challenge.
But it's the complete car, which was very exciting for me. So we had them bring it down to Wicker Park, took the windows out.
So you took these two windows out right here in the front, you just kind of moved the car right inside. Yeah. Like so many of the wide-eyed Back to the Future fanboys passing through, manager James Tillapaw has a soft spot for Marty McFly and his...
21 gigawatts!
You know, the DeLorean normally doesn't come with the time travel circuitry. You actually built all this?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first thing that I built inside the shop here.
Mr. Fusion there on the back, not from Back to the Future 2, but from the end of Back to the Future 1.
Yes.
I need fuel!
Mr. Fusion is actually a Krupp's coffee grinder from 1982.
Oh, really? Is that what they used in the movie?
It is, yeah.
But you were walking by and you guys saw this, and this kind of inspired you to walk through the door.
I would definitely be more interested in buying coffee from a time-traveling coffee shop.
The entire coffee shop is a love letter to 1980s pop culture. You can spend an hour browsing through its perfect combination of Java and Jawas. Tell me about the Ghostbusters poster.
This is an original subway poster from 1984 for the movie Ghostbusters. It's probably the thing that we're most proud of here.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
The team knows the DeLorean will get customers in the door, but it's good coffee that will keep them coming back.
Here we do Metropolis coffee as our standard for drip coffee, as well as our Red Line Espresso, which is their espresso blend. We also do a guest espresso program where every week we switch out from a new different micro roaster, which is around the country.
And if you want to try something really fun, there's two things I love in life. I love coffee and I love Cocoa Puffs. You have something that's really going to be great for me then.
Yeah. This is, we're going to make some mocha puffs. We were making cereal one day and one of the baristas went, we should put some espresso in it. And I thought it was the greatest idea. So we created mocha puffs and they've been a huge hit here.
Wow. That is so good.
Gives you an idea for breakfast, doesn't it? Well, the Ricketts are offering Cubs fans the ultimate in fantasy camps this summer, highlighted with playing a game at Wrigley Field. Listen to this. Here's what you get for $7,500. A custom-made Cubs uniform. You also get batting tips from